Good morning, everyone. This is Deenal here, your host for the day. Well, I welcome all the young and vibrant students from the varied universities and institutes all across the country. On behalf of IndianTelevision.com and Adobe, I welcome you all to an exciting virtual workshop. The theme of today's workshop is Secrets That You Wished You Knew About Content Creation, presented by Adobe in association with IndianTelevision.com. This is an initiative to further propel the knowledge of social media, content creation, and the new digital world. As per Statista, every year more than 1,903 films are produced collectively in various languages in India. India is the largest film market in the world in terms of number of films produced every year. According to India Brand Equity Foundation, in February 2021, Indians spends around 188 billion minutes on various OTT platforms, with daily soaps accounting to 69 billion minutes and movies accounting for 31 billion minutes. India is believed to be the second biggest market for YouTube after the US in terms of subscribers. According to a 2020 report by Top Dollar Financial Insights Hub, there are more than 1,700 Indian YouTube channels. Being one of the trendiest and fastest growing industries right now, Adobe, in partnership with IndianTelevision.com, thought of putting together this workshop together to learn from the experts about the content creation. We have multiple sessions lined up for today, starting from a well known influencer's journey to a candid conversation with a leading filmmaker onwards to know how from about production from a leading producer, and finally, insights from an Adobe specialist on video tools. I request all the viewers to post their questions for the speakers on the chat box. On this note, we would like to start with our first session for the day, the influencer and the craft of videos. For this, I would like to welcome Ms. Suhani Shah, mentalist, magician, and YouTuber, to address our viewers and share her thoughts and experiences as an influencer. Suhani Shah is one of the biggest names in Indian magic today. Being a magician and a professional hypnotherapist, Suhani Shah understands the way people think, behave, and react in certain conditions. She has been live streaming on YouTube since a year now and has taken the content creation world by storm. She has various game show formats which have been widely successful. She has created a world where she combines her magic into the numerous projects she takes up. I welcome you and over to you, Ms. Shah.
Thanks, Dina. That was a very good introduction.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everybody, wherever you're joining from. Uh, very interesting. It's very interesting that I have to speak about secrets that you wished you knew about content creation because, as Dinal said, I started content creation about a year ago. I was not so active on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook as such, but yeah, of late the pandemic forced me to get into digital world, and it is a great learning process. I can't say that okay, I'm done and I now know everything about it, but it's been a great learning process. It's still on, and yeah, I've just been, sometimes I feel there's just been few things that I did well that got my YouTube channel, gave it a good push, and I got the eyeballs that I was not even expecting. I would like to start from the start. Something about my journey so far. It's never been always digital. I started my career very young. I started my career when I was 7 years old. I was this young kid who wanted to do everything that she watches around. So be it sports. One second, guys. It's just weird. I feel I'm just talking to myself. So I want to like change the view. Okay, I can't.
Okay. I'll ask you a question, Suhani. Tell me about your journey so you don't feel like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, it's just that there's a big screen and I'll just see myself on the big screen and I'm like,
cool, relax, I'm here. I'm the founder of the company. So tell me, what was your journey like?
No, this feels so much better. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
As I said, I was this young kid who, why kids are curious and they want to do everything that comes in their mind. And I was just like that. And it just so happened that I watched magic on television and I got super excited and I walked up to my father and I was like, Dad, mujhe na magic karna hai. I was like 7 years old. So my father was like, जा जाके पढ़ाई कर, you know. And I walked up to him again after a few days and I was like, मुझे magic करना है. And then he was again like, जा जाके पढ़ाई कर. So basically, he thought, I mean, I would come up and say different things every other day, you know, so that I want to do this and I want to do that. But one fine day, he realized that I'm serious about what I'm doing, what I'm talking. And my dad comes from this mindset that, no, whatever you want to do, don't waste your time, irrespective whether you're 7 years old or 60 years old. So it was very clear that he was like, you're not going to perform in school or party. If you want to perform, you're going to perform on a big stage. And I was like, okay, I'm like 6 years old. I'll say okay for anything. And I don't come from an entertainment family. So it took a very long time for us to find people who could teach me magic and make up an entire set. And after like 8-9 months of rehearsal, setting up, dialogue learning, I did like my first stage show. And that was at the age of 7.
What was your age then? Were you 6 then?
I was 7.
My God. Lucky 7.
Yeah. And the interesting bit was that I had like the then Chief Minister of Gujarat and the entire media out in that first show, supporting me, being there for me. And I was all over the place in Ahmedabad. This happened in Ahmedabad. And then I got shows to perform in Bombay, overseas, all over India. So the thing was that this was a kickstart. And after that, there was no looking back. I was just performing on and on. There was like, I didn't go to school because I was performing like 8-9 months a year. So if it was extremely conventional, like what I do today is so much contrast of how I started. And that's the journey I love, because I started extremely traditional way. If you see a circus, you know how circus has this tent and they're like a big group of people and too many goods, and they put up a tent at a place and then they perform every single day, sometimes 2 shows a day. And then they go to another city after a month. I performed in a similar fashion. Instead of a tent, we would just go to a city, hire an auditorium. We had 2 trucks of goods, 30 people to assist me, perform every single day, 2 shows a day, 3 shows a day, and then the next city, and then the next state. And it was extremely conventional. There was no digital world. The ways of publicizing, the ways of marketing were extremely on ground. Like we would do stunts like blindfold driving in a marketplace so that people could know about it. There were loudspeakers going on in cars announcing there's a show in the town, please come and watch. So the medium, the newspapers became also the major medium. So the marketing style was extremely conventional. The performance style was extremely conventional. This is what I something 25 years ago. And now, of course, things are eventually, of course, things get, my show started getting upgraded. I started getting upgraded. Whatever trend came in, I made sure that I adapt to it rather than sticking to what I do. So yeah, that's how the process started.
So who was your inspiration? Was it David Copperfield or who was it?
Yeah. At that, very honestly, we did not have those CDs and there was no YouTube when I started. You know, we will get those. When I started, there was nothing. There was literally nobody.
Was it Mandrake?
No, nobody.
Nobody, serious. I got inspired by Mandrake.
Yeah, but no, for me, there was nobody at all, because we would not even, for me, it was like I don't come from a family that even watches a lot of television or entertainment or something. This is just one Sunday show I watched on television. And so my thing started very weird because we got people who assist magicians and they taught me magic. Not even a magician, because in India, magicians don't teach magic. Not in India, generally magicians don't teach magic. So and later on, when I turned like I think 13, 14 and all, that time we started getting CDs of David Copperfield and all these international magicians. And then we started starting those CDs and started upgrading and got inspired by them. And that time it was David Copperfield.
I thought he's inspired so many millions all over the world.
Yeah.
And now you're inspiring millions.
I hope so. I'm doing that. Also with David Copperfield, the interesting bit was it was not just the magic bit that I got inspired with, but it was the showmanship and the storytelling. You know, like he's a great storyteller. And I realized at that very young age that it is not the magic, because tricks, everybody has 5. And it's all about how you're narrating your story. How are you presenting those tricks? As a magician, if I see a trick today, every magician knows every trick in the world. It's about, we'll never go and say, oh, what wonderful trick that was. We'll always go and say, oh, what a beautiful performance was that. So with David Copperfield, I learned storytelling. I learned showmanship. I learned it's the direction, it's the lights, it's the music that makes the main show and not just the trick in itself.
Yeah,
So
but that was
that's
for
where
real. That was a real life role. Now you're a YouTube star. So who inspires you on YouTube, and how do you go about churning the videos on YouTube regularly? What, how often? What tools do you use? And in terms of, you've got to be inventive, in terms of your tricks, because it's camera which is looking at you, and there's not a large stage which you have. So tell us. I've asked you many questions. Just answer these. It'd be great if you could share those.
Yeah, sure. So, meant I 3 years back, I turned instead of an illusionist, I turned into a mentalist. They're two different things. Illusion is more larger than life stage shows. Mentalism is more me, my audience, and the mic, and the prop is people's minds. So, and it's okay, I can't say impossible, but till the pandemic, until the pandemic started, I was always like, people would say, can you do a show digitally? And I was like, mentalism is not possible to perform digital, because I need to have the person in front of me. I need to see the expressions. I need to capture body movements. And that's how I can get to know what's going on in the person's mind. So it was always a big no. I'm not going to go digital. In fact, even if you see my videos, they were all on YouTube that went viral, and that went viral on Facebook. That made me made me move to Bombay. And my career changed with this one video that went viral on Facebook. It was a mad 12 million in like 3 weeks. And I was getting calls from it was like I had taken a 10-month break where I was not performing. I went to Himalayas, and it was a very movie-like story. But then I returned and I did this new mentalism show, recorded it, and put up a video. A lot of people told me that it might not work, and you never upload a video thinking it's going to go viral. You just upload a video because you upload a video, you put up content. And I had like 16,000 likes to my page on Facebook then. This is 2017. And I just put up this video. People told me that put up a square video, don't put up a landscape video.
Vertical and horizontal.
Yeah. So a lot of things were not right about this video according to social media. But I was just like, nothing's happening in my life, much, because I've taken a break. There are no shows happening, and just put it up. So I put it up, and it was mad because the phones wouldn't stop. I did not have a manager. Everything was just wildfire. It was just like crazy. I was being called at IIT Kharagpur. I was at Microsoft. I was like places where I didn't think I would be in like next month. So I was performing everywhere. And then I realized the power of that one video. Like I've been performing for the last 2017. I've been performing for like 20 years almost. And ground level shows, more than 5,000 shows all over the country, overseas, everything. But what this one video did, nothing could do. It was crazy.
How did you make that video?
I performed a show I used to stay in Goa. So I performed a show in Goa, and we just made sure that we do a high-end recording of it. That's it.
You used prosumer cameras, professional cameras, you used a DSLR?
I hired a team. The college wanted me to perform there. And they had a great team of videographers. They had a great studio and everything. I was like, okay, I'll perform. I did it for free because I was like, I'll get great videos out of it. So I performed there for free because at that time I was like, if I get good videos, it's all worth it. So I, in fact, paid a bomb for the videos instead of paying myself for the video, for the performance. And then that was it. It was a high-end video, high quality videos. It's still on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere. And that's it. So what I want to say is that it was that one show and that one decision of recording that show. After that one video, every video I would upload cross 1 million because it was like a ripple effect. And all the videos from the same show. And when my Facebook got a hit, I uploaded the same video on my Instagram. And then they crossed millions there. And then I uploaded that same video after a while on my YouTube. And then they got millions there. So then I just
recovered your money, right? So you're not regretting.
Not at all. I moved to Bombay after this. My life changed literally.
So now, what's your process? What's your process of creativity now? And what's your process of? Are you filming yourself, or do you have a team? And how are you ideating? And what tools are you using? Are you editing yourself, or you have people editing for you? And if they do edit, what role do you play in the entire construct of the video, apart from performing?
Okay. So previously, I would only upload my stage videos everywhere. Like I would make sure I perform, I get that show recorded, and individual acts will go on my thing. And those videos I would edit myself. So I fortunately a decent editor. So I would edit myself, make thumbnails myself, put everything myself on, and I would upload them, and they would do well. So I would understand also. So I always feel that me knowing editing has been a great support in my process of being a digital content creator. Although that was never my purpose. My purpose was never to become a content creator. It was only about live performance, but life had other plans. So what happened is when the pandemic started, I was pretty stuck because now I was like, I am not performing. I do not have shows. What do I do? And then I was called on few live streams as a guest. So I went there, performed a few tricks, but it was interesting because I was getting a chance to interact with people. And then I started my own live streaming. In fact, it's exact like 2 days back, 8th July 2020, I did my first ever live stream. So exactly a year now. And I got great. I was very apprehensive whether I should, I shouldn't, because trolling this, I was very worried. There are very few female live streamers, especially in the lifestyle field and all. I was like, just try it. Went ahead, did it. Great support. People loved it. Made sure I'm consistent. So
that was a ticketed. That was a ticketed live show.
No. I just started a live streaming process.
Live stream, not a ticketed one through Book My Shows.
No, I did that also. I did ticketed shows also. In fact, I adapted to it. Like I made an entirely new show that would work digitally as mentalism, because it's very difficult for mentalism to work. So yes, I did that also. I did a few small things in between to adapt to things. Like I did a digital live ticketed show, a digital show, ticketed show. Then I did this a new show called Suhani Shah, which was a drama and magic combined. So I had another artist with me who's a storyteller, and I was a magician, and we played an act. We turned our entire house into like a stage. So every time I would close and I would open and I would be in a different set. So we did entire play, like an hour and a half play on a digital show. So I adapted a lot to that. I was just trying everything. I was like, क्या चलता है देखेंगे. Let's just do this. Let's just do that.
So आपने कहा कि आप edit करते हो खुद. कौन से tools use करते हो आप?
So I use Adobe Premiere. I'm a Premiere Pro person. So for me, that works the best. For thumbnails, it is Photoshop. And now if there's a quick thing, I think I really like this app called Canva. Sure. So it is a quick fix for things if it's on my phone and stuff like that. This was all earlier. Then eventually I started vlogging. And now I have an entire studio. I have a team. So it had to be there came a point where I couldn't just use my house every time to record, because everybody's in the house and I can't just shut the entire house for like कोई बात नहीं करेगा 3 घंटे तक का कि मैं shoot कर रही हूँ. So it became a lot of chaos. So I realized I don't want to disturb them. And then I took up a studio space. I took up a 2 BHK. So now I'm in my studio right now. My hall is turned into a studio space where all the backgrounds that I want and all are there, pretty neat. There's one which is an entire editing room where my 2 editors are there. So
you have 2 suites, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 rooms, yeah.
Two edit suites, what I'm saying. They call edit suites.
Okay, I don't know them.
Basically, yeah. 2 units, two computers on which they edit.
Yeah, so there are 2 and 2 this side, and then a lot of work is outsourced.
Okay.
So these 2 people who sit here are majorly the ones who record it and then edit it here. But then a lot of videos are also outsourced. Like if there's a live stream that needs to be edited, then there's an editor in Delhi, there's an editor in Bombay also. So a lot of those. So in total, I have a team of 4 people who record, edit, make sure that there's content going up there, something or the other is going up there. That is happening. I make sure that there is literally not a single video that goes up without me reviewing it. I am very, very, very finicky is what my editors tell me, because ये 1 second ज़्यादा क्यों है? ये 2 second कट सकता है, you know, because I value people's time a lot, and I feel like if they are going to watch me on any platform, I need to make so I remember the first rule I have told to every editor when I'm hiring them has been, imagine you are editing a TV ad and you're paying for every second of it. So you have to make sure that if it's a second which is of no use, you cut it off. If you see any of my videos, there'll be no video which will be like 12.5 second duration. It'll never be 13.15 second. Because I'm like, it's at 15 second, it becomes 13. People watch 13 minutes, it's long for them. Cut down 15 seconds from anywhere and give me 12.56. So those few things are very, very particular for me. Music is extremely particular for me.
So you compose your own music, or you buy the rights to music, or you take
So-
Google Play Music?
I have subscribed to a few music things. Actually, the editors, whatever they want, I just buy it for them. But for few things, I am collaborating with Spitfire, who's a rapper. If I don't know, Nitin Mishra, if you guys, the one who did Gully Boy, Asli Hip Hop Simila Hindustan ko. So I collaborate with him for if there's anything where I need like specific thing, like I have a game show and my game show has a jingle, which is a rap. And so I make all these things. Then I have a lot of my entire YouTube has an intro music, the end music. So all those things are customized. They are like, I want it in a particular way that represents how I am and what my channel talks about. So those things are customized, but not for every video. For every video, we pick up copyrighted music, or we buy music, licensed music from whatever my editors want.
Fantastic. So now, we are running short on time. I wish I had another half an hour with you, because you seem like an inspirational young lady at 26, 25?
No, I'm pretty way more than that. My looks are very deceiving.
Thank you. I mean, you must be extremely proud of yourself, especially in the looks part, but also in your skills part. So now, any tips to the young people out here and to the senior people on how they can become digital successes on YouTube, Insta? What should they do as far as video is concerned? Do they need to go for top quality? Do they need to shoot with mobile phones? Do they need to shoot with 4K HD cameras? Or 4K HDR? What exactly do you give? Do they need to tell stories? Do they need to, basically the secrets that they don't know about content creations? Your secrets.
Okay. For people who are starting and planning to start on digital, I have, I'll just tell what I did. And I think if that works for everybody else, and I'll also tell what's something that I got inspired with. One is start. Like, please start. However, whatever you have, I today have a studio, 2 screens, big machine, everything. But I started with a very basic laptop without a mic, using my earphones as a thing. And I just started. And then I saw the response. And as it kept coming, I kept on going. So the main thing is not to wait कि जब मेरा ये पूरा हो जाएगा, मेरा वो हो जाएगा, पहले ये आन दो, मेरे पास नाम नहीं है, मेरे पास title नहीं है. Don't waste your time. Just start whatever you have. Even you have a basic idea, start, because people will keep telling you what they want from you. So that's one. Secondly, consistency. I think that plays a very, 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 very major role. Be it putting up pictures on Instagram or putting up videos anywhere, consistency. I also sometimes I'm not posting. I'm like, I make sure I at least try to put every day one post on my Instagram or my Facebook, something on my YouTube, if it's a community post or a YouTube shorts video or a major vlog video, anything. But people need visibility is the game. So the more they are seeing you, the more they know about you. Then they judge you, hate you, like you. That all is fine, because even if they hate you, you can know why they are hating you and then analyze it and make them love you. So all those bits happen. But visibility is very, very important. Thirdly, now the main question is, should we have a high-end camera or should we just go with a mobile phone? Now, I'm going to give an example of Tanmay Bhatt. Now, Tanmay Bhatt just picks up his phone and starts shooting anywhere and everywhere and makes sure that he gets great content out of it and puts it up out there. I, on the other hand, I also shoot from my phone. I shoot from my phone as well as on my camera. It depends on what these people who shoot me around me like. Now, I realize that what I cannot do is I can't hold a phone all the time, because I'm a person that I do not want to ruin my experience of whatever I'm doing. So I realized that I can't do, for example, what Tanmay Bhatt does. And I was like, okay, what can I do? And I realized I can hire people who can shoot me when I'm having all the fun in life. And that's what I did. So I don't use a camera in my hand or have anything in my hand anytime. If you see all my videos, hardly I'll be holding a thing for something that they want help for. Otherwise, I'm just doing what I want to do, and they can just shoot whatever they want. And they can use phone, they can use camera, whatever they are comfortable with. I'm okay till they give me great shots. So that's what I adapted to. So I realized my pattern. What do I like? And then I went into that. A lot of people go out for comedy. I realize I'm not a great funny person, but I realize I'm a good lifestyle content person. I went for that. So once you start, You understand better what people are liking, not liking, what you are good at, what you're not good at. So that's the third bit, that realize what you're comfortable with and make those arrangements for yourself. And fourth bit would be experiment as much as you can. Like people say, should I start a game show? Should I do a vlogging? Should I do live stream? No, I want to be more bigger on Instagram than YouTube. Papa, just experiment, put up things, start a game show if you like, put up comedy videos, put up rant videos, put up just pictures every time, put up like whatever you feel you're good at or you want to try. Do not hesitate in experimenting, because this is the time you can. I have heard people coming and saying, what if they dislike my content or they unfollow me? But understand, we are just starting. We hardly have a few followers. So we are not at millions at this. I experiment even now. Like I'm going to experiment a new game show right in next 3 weeks. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm going to try. If it doesn't work, it'll be one failed stream. It doesn't matter. So try 100 things, because your audience will tell you what they liked.
Get it. I get it. Now, so in terms of, do they need to learn editing? Do they need to subscribe to Adobe Premiere Pro? Would you advise them to do that? Do they take a subscription to Photoshop, which is the online version?
I highly recommend that. It makes life much easier. If you know editing, your process of the way you look at content changes, because you know how you're going to edit it. So even right now, well, I am not editing my videos. Even when we are storyboarding, even when you're writing things, we know कि हमको पहला shot ऐसा चाहिए, फिर मैं यहाँ से snap करूंगी, मैं कहीं और पहुंच जाऊंगी. I know how the edit is going to happen. So मैं shot भी वैसा ही देती हूँ, मैं बातें भी वैसी करती हूँ. If sometimes I am seeing the video, I sit on the timeline myself because I exactly know what I want. So I like तू हट मैं करती हूँ काम. You know, so if you know editing, things become a lot more easier, not just in editing, but even in creating, understanding, storyboarding, everywhere.
Okay, and titles and the thumbnails और उसके अलावा meta tagging, keywords, वो सब भी जरूरी है, right?
A lot. I'll give you a quick thing that I did. One of my videos, there was this vlog video which I had titled I'm bored and I did something. So that was the title, and the video for 3 weeks did not, it was just like, okay, like 50, 60K view, and my vlogs usually do it. And I was like, what's happening? And I instantly changed the title to 10 things to do in lockdown. And today it instantly, in like another 2 weeks, it crossed like 400K, 4 lakh views and stuff like that. So title of the videos is very important. Click-through impressions, because your thumbnail, so click-through impression का rate high हो, वो बहुत जरूरी है. Thumbnail is extremely important.
तो क्या होना चाहिए thumbnail? Provocative, catchy, और आपका title fonts भी use करते हैं, जो use करते हैं वो भी हमें सोचना चाहिए, right?
Exactly. So it depends on what your content is and how do you want to make your thumbnail. Sometimes people like to make it very like 5 things to wear, 3 ways to be better at this too. That's catch works sometimes for some people.
The listicle part.
Yeah, for sometimes what works for people is scandalous bits, you know. So again, I am experimenting on my thumbnails. My last video thumbnail, which did really well, was caught him naked.
But
look, that's the expression. So I was prank, and the title said prank gone wrong. But in that, all I'm trying to do is I'm surprising my editor who broke his hand. And when I entered, he was just not wearing his t-shirt, you know.
Oh.
But, so I just tried a thumbnail like that. I never used anything like this. I'm somebody who keeps my content very clean and stuff. But it went
berserk.
Half of my comments are like thumbnail and title, and it did really well. It's one of my best workings vlog in which there is no other celebrity. So for me, if you call thumbnail style, can depend on what you're doing. You're a gamer, you're a vlog. But for me personally, readability. Now, again, what I have told my graphic designer is the thumbnail has been seen on the phone. So if you are giving me a thumbnail, imagine that a 60, 70-year-old man who has glasses is not wearing the glasses and seeing the phone. Can that person see the thumbnail and understand what that is? If that is working for that person, your thumbnail is good. So I want fonts big, really. I can't have cursive. I can't have chotu symbols, doesn't work, it's not neat. So I am somebody who needs like really big fonts, really bold, big pictures, and very neat, bright yellow, orange, or blue. So my theme is more of yellow on my channel. So I have that pattern. And if somebody on the phone cannot understand it, my thumbnail is not going to work.
Sure.
So those are my patterns of making a thumbnail. Extreme readability. That's my first and main rule, readability.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I've been told that I have to shut up. You have to shut up, and you have to just do your illusionist act and disappear. I can't disappear right now because I don't have the skills you have.
This was a lot of fun, Anit, and very nice talking to you and everybody else. It was very interesting. This was a very interesting chat, I must say, because I've never been asked such questions about digital creation. I would love to talk anytime again soon if anybody needs anything, advice from me.
Definitely, I'll call on you. I'll
Thank you.
definitely call on you. It's been a pleasure talking to you because you seem quite intelligent, quite bright, which is what we think most mentalists and illusionists are. And you've chosen the right field to build your audience. Wish you all the best. And now do the vanishing trick.
Thanks, Anil. Thanks, Deepal. All the best,
Thank you.
everybody else. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
That was actually a great session, and you have touched upon so many important points here, Ms. Suhani. And we thank you for being with us today.
And please stay on also. You can stay and watch the next one. Umang Kumar's, I'm speaking to Umang Kumar. Go ahead, Dina.
Yeah. So before we start with the next session, we would like to play a very interesting video for you guys.
Hi there, I am Chetan Jadhav. I'm the Senior Solution Consultant at Adobe. And in this particular quick video, we'll have a quick look how to use motion graphic templates so that you can quickly create title animations, motion graphics, overlays, transitions, and much more within Premiere Pro. Let's have a good look. So here I've actually compiled different videos in my timeline. So I have the design video, I've got some of my architecture, I also have some of my interior design and some of the fashion. So to use motion graphic template, you have to come to the graphics workspace, and within graphics workspace, you will see essential graphics where you have the My Templates. So the My Templates will actually have a list of the predefined motion graphic templates ready to use within Premiere Pro. So this has the transitions, the animations, text animations, and all of those. So let's say I want to use some of the text animations. So I'm particularly looking for a side dash. So if I just search side dash, I do have this. So I'll just drag and drop it onto my timeline, and you'll see this Bogart will load up. Now it's there, but I want to change some of the text. I'll double click and just change it to creative design. I also want to change the placement of this Bogart. So I'll select it and maybe I'll just put it down. Also, I'll select the creative design and enable the background. So I can make it less opaque, and actually you can see the creative design popping out. I can also change the color of the text, the font, and all of those font options are there. Also, you can change the elements of the motion graphic template. So in this example, I can actually change the color of the side dash. So I do have a color picker where I'll select some of the purplish, and I think this particular really works for me. So this was the first motion graphic template in my particular video. So you see this text animation is actually coming out. But the beauty about this particular thing is you can actually make multiple copies here. So I'll make another copy here. And for the second video, which is actually for my architecture, I can just come here, double click, and I'll change it to architecture design. And I can also just place this as per my requirement. So I want to make it somewhere around the top. Similarly, I can come to the side dash and I can make it something to aqua blue. And this is the second motion graphic template. So this way I can have the single Bogart reused at multiple times, and I can customize it as per my own requirement. Similarly, if I want to transition, I can also look on for all the transitions. So click on transition, and these are all the transitions, which I can just drag and drop it onto my timeline. And also these are very much editable. So if I play this part, this is how it looks. Creative design, the first motion graphic template is there. Then this will be followed by a transition, and then it's followed again by the third motion graphic template. So this was a quick look, and I hope you will use this one very well. Thank you.
Well, moving forward to our next exciting session, we have Mr. we have a fireside chat on the art of filmmaking. This conversation will be between Mr. Umang Kumar Bhandula, filmmaker and production designer, in conversation with our very own Mr. Anil Banwari, founder, CEO, and editor-in-chief, IndianTelevision.com Group. We have a multi-faced and a multitasking personality, Mr. Umang Kumar Bhandula, who has done it all, be it hosting, acting, modeling, product endorsements, art direction, and film director, with critically acclaimed and commercially successful biopic Mary Com, popularly known as OK due to his famous game show titled Ek Minute and Gol Gol Gulam on Hangama TV. Umang Kumar was a consultant creative director to the India's largest advertising agency, Hindustan Thompson Associates. We welcome you both and over to you, sir.
Hi, Umang. What's up?
Hello.
Good to see you. Some of your lovely paintings in the background, right? Umang, can you unmute yourself? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Better?
I see some of your lovely paintings in the background.
Yeah. This is my office. I mean, just to start with, I mean, if you want to see it, that's where I write. And this is all my work throughout, all my paintings. It's like an art gallery. And this is my exciting place for creativity.
Fantastic. So is that the place where you actually plan your films that you're doing also?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's a one-stop place where films, set designing and art direction and paintings. Yes, and now it's taken over because the new line that I've started right now is basically, whenever I've got time, I paint. So in between meetings, you were late right now, I could have done one more painting in 30 minutes. So that was what my life is right now.
Fantastic. So the lockdown has transformed you now into a painter who's actually expressing himself freely.
Yeah, the plan was always supposed to be like, when I retire, like in 70 or whatever, and then I'll start painting in my house in Goa, this, that. But yes, I mean, I used to paint earlier also because I'm from a commercial, background, and painting was in my blood from childhood. I've been painting. So it just came out when, pandemic, you're doing nothing. And it came out for a reason. So that was the best reason that, I started, my wife and me are associated with Animals Matter to Me, AMTM. And it's an organization where they look after stray animals, there's a hospital and everything. So we were trying to feed the 1,400 stray animals in lockdown. So where do we get the money from? Only one ambulance can go when nobody's going on the road, but the money was required. So every day, one painting, paint it, sell it online, and a lacquer painting just for good cause. And that way it started rolling. So it's like I was getting a chance to do whatever I want, plus raising money, and it was a good cause. And when it finished, the pandemic finished, I said, now I have got the urge of painting every single day. Let's start. So every week, one painting. That's how it is.
Yeah. So you're currently doing oils and canvas and waters and canvas. And have you ever thought of digitally using tools like, the Adobe suite offers you to paint?
Not quite, because I do it on Photoshop, and whenever I have to ideate, I do it like I make all my scripts and everything ready on digital. But yes, not used as in digital paintings. I've not used as yet.
Yeah, there are lovely tools. Hopefully someday we can showcase them to you and you can use them now. Similarly, like you said, your journey has been a commercial artist who then became a top production designer. So when you were designing, your sets and everything, what tools did you use to design your, all the sets and the huge art direction and the productions that you're behind, that you made behind?
Basically, yes, from HTA days. I mean, I was in Hindustan Thompson's way back, and when the computer first came, and before that, we used to just do with hand every lettering possible. All your ads that you see, we used to do actually by hand. When the first computer came in HTA, I mean, because I'm talking about 35 years ago or something, and that's when we started learning Corel Draw, and so the digital world came onto us. We had to actually learn as an art director how to use computer now. But right now, for designing, for me, it's still the basic value of, of my role and my hand. It still works like that because I'm one of those older time things, because it's easier for me to sketch in every time. And yes, later on when I have to present, I do a 3D mock and a walkthrough, and that time for the clients and all. So that's how this is my set, this is my scaling, this is my design, and how would it look in color. So that's where the 3D modeling comes in, and that's where the digital use comes in for the client use. For us, for my assistants and all, my sketch drawing is good enough to, if you don't have time to make 3D, it straight away goes on floor.
Okay, so your first art direction break, what was it?
It was Ek Minute, the game show that I hosted for 9 years. So that was basically, I was still in HTA, and it so happened that yes, my background is very filmy. My mom and dad were from Pune Institute, acting, and also throughout my life I have been on stage, television. I mean, people don't know of Doordarshan. People used to watch earlier, so Magic Lamp, Khel Khilone. So I used to come as a child actor there, and theater was my base. Theater, acting. But when I graduated into in advertising, because advertising was also, I didn't want to do a normal, a college, so I did commercial art. And when I joined HTA, life was going very well until again those roots started coming up, and I got a chance for doing Ek Minute game show as a host. So what do we do at the set? So why in advertising we used to launch products, as in Lux was launched or Sunsilk was launched, so we used to design. So those things, it generally graduated myself into different lines. Doors kept on opening for my next step. Like storytelling was part of my life, acting was part of my life. So hosting gave me that, to come out in the open with lots of crowds. And Ek Minute was the initial game show when Z started.
Trust me, I was watching. I was a big fan of it. I always wanted to try to crack that. I never did. I didn't know you then.
Please don't tell me that you were a kid and used to throw a bag.
I'm not a kid. I'm older than you. I'm older than you. But
what's your age? What's your age?
I'm 58.
Okay, fine. So,
much older than you.
So I'm 53. So it's fine.
Yeah. So I was, but we were kids, all of us, right?
Yeah, I know. But the things I always get, like, Priyanka Chopra, when I'm directing Medicom, and she's saying, I was a great fan of your Ek Minute show, and I used to come from school and throw my bags and watch. That's the basic mindset that everybody has about my.
It was my mindset. I used to come back from college and watch it.
Okay, thank God for that. So, well, that was my first set design as such, when colorful, crazy set, and I was still in advertising, I was still hosting. So I was doing 3-4 jobs at the same time, modeling, hosting, and advertising. So it gave me a complete, satisfaction of the things that I did. And that time the Ek Minute peaked so much that, we don't even know. I mean, right now people say TRP and, whatever way to gauge a popular show. That time we used to only get sacks and sacks of letter. So physically we used to go to ZTV, okay, the small office in Wali, collect our sacks of letter, which are named us, and read, answer them, and they used to come to the show. So every single day we used to shoot in Nanavati. We used to get 300 crowd on top on the first level. There was a studio underground. The second level had 300, and on my show 300. If I delay every episode, the top people will be 600. So in a hospital, chaos. So we have to be on time. So in one day, I used to shoot 6 episodes non-stop. And that was quite a crazy time. But that was my high point, That is what I am. The crazy Umang Kumar, log mujhe pyar se okay kehte hain. That was my life, and that was what I was. I lived it, and simultaneously, my art direction started. People would switch on, ye kisne set kiya hai? Itna colorful, jaise Doordarshan se aaye hain to. So my, 3 lives simultaneously were going together. And I was very satisfied until I had to leave advertising to a certain thing, but because it was taking my, time altogether. So I went into art direction as such.
Yeah, and was it Sanjay who gave you your first big one? Black was your set, right?
No, Black was my set, but that was not the first one. I had Natum Jano Naham was my first, and then other 3. Then I came on to Black, and then Savaria, and then so.
Yeah, but so your first Natun Jane Naham, that was your first movement into, and did that require you to change the way you were working? You still drew by hand, or did you use
No,
computers by then?
it was all no, no. It was always by hand. It's still I am doing always by hand itself. Like I told you, these are my roles. If you see, this is all every single day, just rolls and rolls and rolls of paper. Yes, later on it goes on to the com, but for me physically, I am good at hand to quickly do it. So this is the next thing. Let's like after this. I mean, I have a meeting right now at 12:30 on a Zoom. So I will do my best, not with the 3D, but with a design. And then once I convince the client, then I make 3Ds. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done lots of shows for you.
Yeah, that's right. You've done the
That's
tell you about sets, and
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
always
yeah.
come and drawn. You've drawn them, and we've had to. Some of the times I could visualize it, but only when I saw it, and when I saw that it was built, the last one which you did, which everyone then went on to all the other award shows took off on, if you remember.
Yep. I mean, that's a good show. We did it in Chitrakoot only, right
That's
now
right.
next to it. And it was a very beautiful show. I mean, beautiful set also and show. So I'm very proud of that, and I keep on showing those photographs. This is what detailed set looks like. Those one of those non-LED sets that we do right now. What LED lagao, and we finish it off.
LED sets are very boring. I mean, I'd
Yeah,
love to have, though we always have a tightness of budgets because the channels want the Earth and the Moon, and they give you something which is not even near the ground budgets.
For me, what happens, I mean, an LED set is like you have a blind eye to it. Okay, you won't
Absolutely.
remember it the next year. For me, what happens is while designing, there has to be something that stands out from there. Okay, yes, art direction. If you're doing realistic film, it has to blend in. It should not stand out. For that, all that I do. But for my world, I do the things that will make you stand up and notice that set. That's what, and you'll remember it the next year. Arey, jo tune wo set kiya tha na, that was nice. So they can remember, so they can relate to whatever I've put. If it was an LED, they wouldn't say, LED ye set maybe has somebody else also has it.
Yeah.
So what's new to it? So that's why they don't come to me if there's only LED sets here.
Absolutely. So now coming back, art direction, you moved on to, how did your movement into film direction and filmmaking come? Because you work with the likes of Mr. Bachchan, you work with the likes of every big star through your shows.
Yep.
And you've given platforms to even the Ranbir Kapoor, if I'm right, in Savaria, right?
Yeah. So what happened? It's like all the shows that we do, as in stage show, the award shows. In 1 year there are 6 award shows, and we used to do all of them. Name one. So we interact with everyone day to day. We are seeing them. What is their performance? What is Aishwarya's next performance? Who's Katrina? Where is Katrina performing? Salman. So everyone. So you're sitting with them day in day out. Okay. The kida that I had in me was of acting. Okay. Throughout my life, I have done hosting. I didn't go into acting because that would take up a lot of time of mine. So hosting gave me that huge leap that I wanted, huge fame jump that I wanted, which happened. Simultaneously, I got the chaska on being on set and seeing, when I'm art directing, I'm seeing the other directors direct. Now, I've never assisted anyone, okay? To become a director, you have to assist someone, learn the ropes, learn how to see. But yes, I've done advertising. So in advertising, we used to think up the full 3-hour film, we would show it in 60 seconds, how to sell a product to you. So I knew how to storyboard. I knew how to tell a story, as in not direction, but doing art direction for it. Like what happened is generally thinking in advertising is the copywriter thinks of an idea. Okay, an art director just supports it and they go together. For me, it was different. For me, ideation comes first. In the sense I am a very visual person. Maybe everything that I've done in life, be it hosting, acting, that everything came to me and helped me in, that I can also direct. So while I'm doing 5 films at the same time, I'm doing Love Story 2050, I'm doing Chameli, I'm doing Ishq Vish, Natun Janu Naham, Black Saudi, simultaneously happening. Okay. So I'm learning from different directors at the same time without even knowing that I'm learning. So just seeing on the set, what is happening. Okay. How is he acting? Okay. I can act like that, or I can make him act like that. So I know what is going on. Okay. I know the composition because I've learned, my college is that, I've learned photography. So I know composition. I can design clothes. I can design costume. Anything that I want, I can design. Okay. Acting is what helped me into direction. Okay. I don't know how to, what is the first thing that I'll say. Roll camera. Okay. Sorry. Roll sound. Okay. Cut. I had to practice that when the first time it happened.
Yeah.
But I can make my actor act because I want him to do what I want. So that much capability I had. I had that capability of assigning 500 of my assistants to make a set, be it Kingdom of Dreams or make anything come to life was my main goal. And yes, direction simultaneously happened while I was doing other films.
I get it.
As an art director.
Yeah.
But the seed was born in, when I thought I will start a film, I thought this is my world, which is opulent. I'll do a Moulin Rouge film. The thoughts were there. Everything was like, over the top and everything. And all the actors are my friends, and they will say yes. But then there was a question, why would they say yes? They've never seen me direct, They don't know my advertising line. They know me as an art director. Who will give me a job as a director? So I thought, make or think about a film that the actor can't say no to. And that time, biographies were not out at all, when I started Maricom. And I was doing Black, I was doing Savaria, but quietly writing my own scripts. And that time, my writer Simon and me were writing opulent scripts, dance films, this, that, everything. This is naming something is not working. They have to respect me for the idea, not for the jinchak designs and all. Then I thought, and he came up with the idea of why not, Mary Com. I said, who is this? If I don't know of Mary Com, that means people mustn't be knowing. Baba, she's a 5-time ball boxing champion. And I read up on him. Now, taking up that subject was very, easy for me because I don't have to go to anyone else to learn about boxing because nobody has done the boxing film before. So that was a plus point for me that, direction I know in the sense of what I've learned offhand. But boxing, nobody can tell me what to do because they have not done it. So I learned on the job. And when we approached Priyanka Chopra, she immediately said yes, but she was scared. Will I be able to do it? Because it's not just acting. It's transforming yourself into something that she's never gone to gym before. So hello, how do I do it? How do I make muscles and all? So when I briefed her and narrated her, when I came back, she just called me, Umang, you think I can do this? I said, if anyone can do it, you can do it. Please trust me and do it. So I'm doing it for you. Let's go for it. And that's how Maricom happened. I mean, before Maricom even started, 2 years before that, I went and signed Maricom on my own as her rights and all. I said, लिखते रहेंगे, जब होगा तब होगा, 2 साल के लिए rights है, करते रहेंगे. It so happened that Olympic happened. And suddenly Maricom came in front of everybody's eyes. So people were asking, who has the rights? Who has the rights? And I had the rights. So obviously I had to make it. And that's things fell in place.
तो आपको प्रोड्यूसर कहाँ से मिला? तो आप और साइवन राइटिंग कर रहे थे बहुत समय के लिए. प्रोड्यूसर कहाँ से आया फिर?
So producer, I mean, I was doing other films as an art director, and when I was doing Sanjay Leela Bansali's other film for Bela, Shirin Farhan Ki Nikal Padi, her first film, as an art director. So then he asked, what are you doing nowadays? I said, no, I'm doing a film. So you won't be interested in that. It's not your type of film. Bata kya hai? So Sanjay is asking, kya hai? Bata to se. I said, no, let it be. Let it be. So Batao. So I gave him the script. I said, it's Maricom. It's on boxing. Okay, let me read it. Let me figure out whether. I didn't get a call for a week and all. And suddenly Olympic at that particular time happened. And he came around and said, why are you not starting this? I said, say yes, and then we'll start. And he said, okay, I'm backing you up. He didn't want me to see whether I've directed before, nothing, because he saw me on sets, doing different things. So he said, okay, ye banda kar sakta hai कीड़ा acting का तो करेगा कुछ ना कुछ.
ठीक है, तो most important part is the pre-production part. That's your development of the script, development of the idea into a script.
Yep.
तो उसको आपको कितना समय लगा? करीब 2 साल आपने कहा?
2 साल because I was doing different stuff. Okay, I mean that's a different process altogether. Right now, films are happening quicker. Okay, but yes, yet from ideation into the final product, you take about 3 months of pre-production. Okay, as in pre-production when the film is sanctioned. Before that, writing takes about 3 to 4 months or maybe a year if the ideas keep on developing, keep on thinking, something new can happen. But that's how a process goes. Generally, what I do is I make synopsis. I mean, I'm not going to show you the covers, but there are lots and lots of, these are my scripts. Okay, this is how I do my stuff. And this is how I get the visualization of the actual film to show it to the the actor, to show it to the producer. This is what my look is. Why this happens? Because I am a visual person. So I put it everything over there for a cameraman, for everyone. This is my canvas. This is where I'm gonna shoot. This is what the look is. This is what my actor will look. This is how the story goes, and this is the finale. So once they get this book, I can see the whole script, and that helps me because I've done my homework well. So when I'm going on floor, everybody's in sync with the director, be it the costume guy, be it the sound guy, be it the actor. Everyone knows what they are in for. I have a one pager where I can see the whole film from start to end in one page. That's how I do it, and that's what makes me, easier. Like I'll just show you. This is the one pager. Okay, so this gives me. I'm not not going to show because these are all secret stuff. But
I understand. I get it.
This is what one page gives everyone. The cameraman knows, acha, the director is thinking like this. The actor knows what it is. So that is the 3-month process that we do before shooting. Okay. Then depends on the actor, depends on the dates, depends on the release. Right now, pandemic has created havoc everywhere, so nobody knows who's going to release it, whether it's OTT, whether it's a film release in theaters. So it's a question mark for everyone, but this is the process that we do.
Okay, और ये जो आप बनाते हो 2 पेजर या जो किस में बनाते हो आप वो?
ये Photoshop में बनाता हूँ मैं, and I do it personally as such because I'm used to creating stuff and putting textures and putting things together and making the full booklet. And the booklet is what my Bible is. Nobody else does, no other director does it. I mean, they'll do a synopsis like do cheese because someone else is doing for them. I physically do it myself because yes, being an artist, I like to see a good visual. I like to see something which can be felt and touched. Obviously then it goes on digital, that's a different thing, but this is what my process is.
Yeah, and also the storyboarding part. So this is, but do you do a detailed shot by day by day sequence that you're or shot that you're filming? Do you do it day by day also, or
that happens when you start shooting? Okay,
exactly. So I was coming to that now.
So before that, me and my assistants sit together. Every scene is broken down into a small segment or from start to end. Every scene is a film in itself. Every scene has the start, middle, and the end. How does a scene end? So for that, storyboard is done. For that, if you have time, then you go into complete detailing. You understand with the cameraman, with the thing. You go on a recce to the actual place or the set, look at the place, look at what it is, redo your, storyboard according to the place if it's there. Generally, we do a recce, means go and see the site twice. Once to book the place, this is where we are going to do it. The second time we go with the whole unit and plan the shots. Okay, plan the shots of this is the camera, this is the thing, this is how you're going to interact, and one day job is done. But yes, I have a full Bible of the whole shoot. Generally, I do my own storyboards. I have my thing. That is what helps me as an art director. I don't have to bank on some other storyboard guy to do my thinking. Because if I shot, I know the person is in foreground, I know the depth is there, so I do it I scale it myself, so it's easier for me. So
that's also good for the DOP, right?
Oh yeah. In one go, you come to know what we're shooting. So there's no time spillover to explain to like, oh God, I don't want this, or he's not understanding. It's not like that. We are all in sync, so that helps me a lot. And basically, I know the art background of mine has helped hugely in direction, be it the costume texture, be it the quality of the light, be it everything. The frame is picture perfect. That is what I look at.
Do you have a storyboard which you can show us of any film if you have it handy close by?
Not a film, but before I started, let me just check one sec. Sorry.
Yeah.
You should have told me. I would have gone.
Sorry, I should have told you, but I didn't know the process. I'm getting to know your process now. I know the process of art direction because we've done a lot of work together in the past. But I didn't know the process that you actually visualize your entire thing in the page.
So this was before I did Maricom, okay? Sorry. This is before I did Maricom. And when I thought, can I direct or no? Okay, can I direct or no is when I started my own storyboard. So Maricom, okay, before it started also, it was supposed to be I said, okay, let me challenge myself. Yes, I've done an advertising. I am, good at small structures. Can I do a short film on Americom? So a synopsis to show the actor that this is what I am. So this is how I sketched. Okay. So if you see
Wow.
this, so now what I'm saying is, while I did the shooting after 4 years, it was exactly the same. I did the father looked like this, unknowingly, uncanny, but when we casted, he looked like this. So this is how, the how she'll run. The coach, I got the coach exactly like this. My Maricom had freckles. I don't know why. And that's why I gave Priyanka Chopra the freckles. So this is how I do it, on learn. And this is not the final script. Huh? This is only the 15-minute that I wanted to showcase myself. So, but there were few scenes taken from here in the film also. This scene got cut, but this was a very beautiful scene when she missed boxing and she was wearing the mittens in the hand, and the mitten she folded and she said like, oh God, I miss boxing. So, that's what the second half of the film. That's how life is over. I have to come back. Let's do it. So she comes back into boxing, and she falls down. Maricom is over. You can do it. She starts training again. Run two. This is how it's finally done. And the last picture is what the picture of the film was, which was the iconic picture of her winning the medal and the flag holding.
Wow.
Fight like a girl. So this is what it was.
Wow. Wow. Impressive. That
Yes.
one of the few directors who actually can draw and can actually get everything in place. So you've done this was even before you made the film as a short film. So when you made Sarabjit, when you made Bhumi, when you did all the other films, did you follow a similar line of working?
Yes, I do that. I mean, I generally make my own storyboard, so I know what is happening when. And right now, because of pandemic, we had enough time to do the storyboards for my other films that are going to come. I was about to go on floor on April 15th when the second pandemic happened, so my shoot got shut, and that was one film. The second shoot was supposed to happen in August, which is in London, but that is also going to. Everything is pushed for a year right now, so we had time to do all the storyboards. So thank God we have a foolproof film right now.
Okay, so pre-prod is very crucial. Then comes production. How does that go?
Production is like a mammoth, crazy thing that you step on and you don't know where it's gonna go. However prepared you are, every day is a challenge. Okay, you will be prepared, yes, 100%, and you'll say that this morning nothing's gonna go wrong, be it from the sky that is clear for you, or the light that is there, or the actors' clothes have come on time, or the juniors are not making a nuisance. So there's a lot of chaos every single day. You have to keep calm. You have to think while going on set that this is going to be the best day of shoot and I am going to be satisfied. The best part is, end of the day, when you sit and you see your footage and you see where it is, does this satisfy you, or God, I have to shoot this all over again, is where the whole tumble down of the whole day comes into in your mind. Shit, one whole day is spoiled because this is what happened. I didn't like this, and that should not happen. Generally, it doesn't happen because you are running. You have a timeline. You have a deadline. So you have to be completely prepared for the next scene. That's where your assistants come in. Like the floor manager, he will make sure that the crowd is ready. Generally, whatever films I've done now, I've done with huge crowds. Okay, it's to concentrate on 2 people, 3 people in a scene is beautiful. That after this, everybody goes out in the courtyard and we have a scene over there. So the second thing is prepared. The camera to light up that second place. From there, we are gonna go. So timing is important. Yes, you have to look at acting the most. You have to see the story properly. Okay, it's not the periphery that matters, it's the concentration of those 2 people, whether they are going to act properly or no. But all said and done with that, everybody else around is also your responsibility. So you have to see that the food is come on time, the break has happened. Otherwise, somebody is sitting sulking over there. What happened, sir? Khana nahi mila because you extended the shoot and you went on to the lunch. Those are crazy things that being a director, you have to think about. And, you're supposed to concentrate on your actor, but there is someone over there thinking and saying, sir, ye ho gaya, time upar chala gaya. I said, that's not my problem. I have to finish my film. So, no, calm down, cool down. That is your problem also, because you are the captain of the ship. You're supposed to take everyone together. Everybody has to be happy, because every time when you shoot, the unless and until you're doing a fun, crazy, funny film, then everybody's laughing on the street. Otherwise, on the set, there is tension. There is, emotions running high. There are people running throughout. There is, like, if I'm concentrating on Priyanka and Darshan, as my scene, back around, I have 34,000 people over there. उसमें से किसी ने नाक में उंगली डाला, किसी ने उसको ऐसे कर रहा है, तो hello, it will come on frame and it will be chop out for life. So you have to concentrate on everyone possible. So it's not easy. It's a like, whatever time you shoot, it's a tense movement. You have to be Captain Cool and calm down. Let people go as if everything is happening in slow motion. They are going crazy. You have to stay focused on the film, finish it without getting angry. I don't get angry on sets. Okay, that's why people said कि यहाँ गिर रहा है, वहाँ ये हो रहा है, उधर. I'll come and cool down everyone. That's how I've survived so long. Not to get angry. That's my mantra right now.
Yeah. So how do you, you're directing big stars. How do you, handle their rejection of what you're suggesting? Or do they all listen to you all the time? And also maybe your AD may not be, you say you don't get angry, but how do you handle that, the aspect of rejection, one from your team at times, from the actors, maybe the lights are not working out right, but you're running on a tight schedule. You've got every day is costing you maybe 20 lakhs a day. Every day of shoot is costing you that much, the producer. So you've got to get the work out. So how do you handle that?
No, see, basically you have to be in sync with your actor. If the actor is not thinking that you are thinking the same line, then there's a problem. Okay, you have to come on board. You have to figure out that this is the scene, this is how you're going to act. If there are multiple takes, that means something is going wrong. That means the actor is not thinking what you're thinking. Why are you asking for one more? So you calm down. Okay, shut for half an hour. Let's go into the van. Let's discuss it. Then come out. You think it's wrong. Why are you not acting? Why are you not coming onto the same page? Why are you not thinking that this is the way the line should be said? So the actor is a thinking actor. They will question, but generally we do it beforehand. Okay, so we practice, we do a reading session. So on set, we don't have that many problems. Okay, yes, when we run short of time and the lines come just the day before, if in the night somebody's given, so then the actor will question. Okay, कि यार ये मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा, कैसे करना है, कैसे rethink कैसे करें. So then we have to calm down, we have to think about it. So don't look at the ambience, don't look at it, concentrate on yourself, concentrate on the next actor. Sometimes the actor himself is performing well, but the samne wala actor is goofing up. So that's where my main actor or whatever says, okay, hello, you should have got someone professional as a junior artist who also is goofing up with one single line. That happens, okay? My actor is performing completely properly, and just because of one stupid thing, that other person doesn't get the line right, and you're redoing, that's when the tempo goes up. That's when you have to again, okay, take a break for 5 minutes, shut it, go everyone, have a chai or whatever, get the guy, rehearse with him, again get him on the floor. This has happened quite a lot of times with me. Okay, because generally when you go outdoors and all, you select people from that particular town. Okay, so then you get new actors, and that's where you struggle more. So, but yes, because everyone is a professional, okay, they've also come up the way everyone has come it. So the actors don't say, anything. They
What
know
about your ADs, and what about lights? What about if something's, how do you deal with that? Do you lose your temper? Because some people do.
I've lost once or twice, but not much, because they also will know that I don't get angry. So, but yes, when I get angry, everybody has to stand up and notice. So they know that I should not get angry, because then, it's a balance. Like, yes, I'm cool, but jab phatega to phatega. So that phatna they've seen in one film or in one time. So they know that phatna should not happen. So everybody is in line, everybody is asking. Yes, but there are people who come up and, like Lightmans and all, you have to be good to them. You have to, because they slog their ass off everywhere on top, this, that, and they are doing for you, selflessly. So they have to have lunch, they have to have, so all that is, I've come through so many films, so I know that is important for them. good film is there. Yes, it's their day-to-day life that they do this for a living. So I
And the
can't.
spot dadas also. Spot
Yeah,
dadas.
everyone. See, they're all good, spot dadas and all. They make you happy. They like say, sir, kya laun aaj? Kya laun? Kuch nahi, kuch nahi. Sir, kha lo, kuch to kha lo. I said, no problem. I forget to eat. That's my problem when I'm shooting. I forget to eat. That's where other people say, sir, आप तो भूल जाते हो खाने को, लेकिन हमको तो खाना खाना. अच्छा, हाँ, okay, take a break. Sorry. This is where I'm coming to. I have a slight tendency to the दादा आखिर sir आप कुछ तो खा लो तो अच्छा अच्छा रख दो हाँ. What's the next scene? Okay, go away. So I'm completely in it. Once you finally rest the night, yeah, let's eat something. So that's when you come to know, when your load is off.
Yeah, and so the schedule is very crucial, and your schedule is very important. And secondly, sticking to the schedule is important. So the production process can take up to 30 days, 20 days, or it can take a longer.
The shoot wise, I mean, generally,
Shoot wise, yeah.
Shoot is, I've seen direction what 200 days of shooting time, spanning in 2 years and all. Or right now, the films have come down to a crux of 50-52 room mein bana do, 45 days. Every day is on the cost. So it's like a mathematic solution that you have to take out. Actor versus what is his standing in the thing. इसके लिए इतनी पिक्चर ही 14 करोड़ या 15 करोड़ की पिक्चर बन सकती है, उसके ऊपर जाएंगे तो लॉस है. अब वो 15 करोड़ को how are you going to fit into the cost? You have to see amortize in 35-40 days में खत्म करो, then you are neutral. So that means there's a gun to your head, and that's how you're shooting. That should not be the process. Okay, that is a wrong process. Right now it's just becoming like a factory. To wo nahi hona chahiye. You have to do a nice beautiful film. So space it out, write accordingly. Don't do edit par kaat denge, waste ho jayega, वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So everything has to be like shot about. That's why pre-production helps a lot. Without pre-production, if you go on the shoot, you're messing it up. You have to do every shot breakdown. पहले कर लो जो भी करना है. टेबल पर बैठ के टाइम वेस्ट करना जो भी करो. On set, from one scene, you have 5 scenes a day. इतना शूट करना, इतना टाइम पर डे निकलने वाला है. That's how I do it.
ठीक है, अभी प्रोडक्शन हो गया 45 दिन 50 दिन में. उसके बाद में फिर आपका you take time off, or do you take a week off, or do you just in the post side?
Generally week off तो मतलब होते ही रहता है, but what we also do is simultaneously editing. Okay, that's online editing on set, so you're not wasting time. So whatever we've done, match it. There is wherever, suppose we are going to Manali, so we take a hotel room there. My editor comes over there, does every day transfer, does edit. So after every 3 days I go and see, okay, join this scene, have you missed anything? Because what happens is we can't go back and shoot again a scene. You don't have that much liberty. So you see it online, you see it finished over there. Baki ka final editing will be later. So you're on process. So jo aage jaake karne wale the, you're doing it while you're shooting, so it helps. So you're not the whole setup is done, everything is done, ek bacha hua scene hai, abhi aake khatam kar lo, it's like if there's not matching or not, so you do it online. And yes, the process later on of editing after the movie is finished, I do take a 2-day break or whatever, or a 1-week break wherever I am. So if you stay back to 3-4 days, it's fine. But once you come back, it's a complete roller coaster for editing. So I keep a suite over here, which is the edit suite, becomes my next room, and that's where concentrated, lock the room. Every 2 minutes I go there, check, okay, what is the next scene, and come out. And then you do every day and finish off the whole edit pattern. Then the music, simultaneously you're doing music, the background score, everything happens. The gradation happens after the whole movie is complete. So you go grade the whole film into the quality that you want, and then sync happens with live music, this, that. It's a long process. The pre-production is important, and the post is also important, because what raw footage you got, you have to see how it comes alive later on.
I understand. So the VFX, you think about it before, or you think about it after?
Everything. No, everything has to be before only. I mean, everything. I have 100 audience. The capacity and the capability of the production is only 100 audience, and I have to make it into 30,000. How do I do it? VFX already thought, what is the green screen? Everything is done while you're shooting, while you're doing pre-prod. Then while shooting, okay, this is the guy, then the VFX guy sits next to me. This is what it is. Where you want to the green marks, see it, where it's on the face. The morphing you're doing, you're extending the background. Set ka capacity itna hi hai, paisa itna hi hai. I want to extend it beyond. So like Mericom, all my sets were done in one studio. Okay, because I'm a set designer and art director, I know यही China बन जाएगा, यही Kerala बन जाएगा, यही Turkey बन जाएगा. So their sets are going in and out. The audience changes from 100 to 500 to 1,000. To the finale, I wanted 30,000 people or more than that. That comes in VFX. How do I extend? So all that is thought before, while shooting, and afterwards you have to keep on saying, no, this guy is not proper. No, the lighting is not proper. The lighting VFX doesn't match my original lighting. So all that you keep on doing. Finally, when the product is ready, finished, every VFX shot is put in, that's when the music happens. That's when you see it live and then you grade
I get
it.
it. So then you have a screening for yourself. I'm going to take another 5 minutes and then I'm going to shut off. You go and see a screening while the color gradation is happening in one of the mini theaters.
Yes, we do that. I mean, color gradation is basically अगर prime focus लो तो उसके साथ बैठ के every day that you're seeing without sound, you're seeing that gradation, grade. What is the whole look of the film? You do it, finish. And when the sound comes in, that's a different. So you go into some other studio, see the sync together, music separate, background separate. Then you do that. क्या बोलते हैं, sync sound होता है ना, डब 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 डब, the sound quality कराना, कैसे scratch करना, तो that's a separate process. Once you do everything put together, then you do a final showing. That's when you see, oh shit, whether it's fantastic or it's goofed up, you have to go back to the drawing board, something else has to change. It's a long process. It's a long process. You do
so, yeah, Marycom took you how long? Sajid took you how long?
See, Marycom we shot for 48 to 50 days. Okay, my whole thing was basically 50 to 50 days mein khatam karna. Sarabjit shooting wise 50 days. Bhumi took 48 days. So they're all the same zone. Yes, my time frame is within a year the film should be ready. Okay, 3 months pre-prod, shooting, post 3 to 4 months, and then you keep on doing the film again and again, and then whenever you release. So एक साल लेके चलते हैं. That's how generally it happens.
And you also get involved in the materials that are going out for marketing and promotion.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's another thing that I do my own posters also. So doing the own poster, and basically I can ideate myself. So I design my poster. I tell my guy who's doing the PR and all that, this is the type of look I want. This is the thing. That's how a shoot does, and that's how we do the posters. But yes, the PR is another complete session altogether. It's how you take your product into the market and how it reaches throughout, what all mediums, where do you go, what all gimmicks that you do. It's a completely different ball game altogether. That's another process fully. And yes, I have to be part of it.
Yeah. So, but who are your idols? Who do you look up to? Quentin Tarantino? Is it, who do you look up to internationally?
Steven Spielberg. I mean, I'm from years and years. I had my old office was somewhere in Sakinaka where I had a studio.
I remember that. Yeah.
So on the wall I had written, one day I will become Steven Spielberg. That's my goal. I mean, that's how I want to, and win an Oscar sometime. Hoga. I mean, every time when we used to do art direction, Ravi K. Chandran, who's a cameraman, and we used to discuss, it's like, we should get a national award sometime, this, that. It was, I said, sir, hoega. And for my first film, I got national award. So I said, okay, one step is crossed. Now let's go beyond that. So yes, there are dreams, so everything will be fulfilled.
Yeah. Actually, we are running out of time. No, but any last thoughts? You also have a meeting. Any last thoughts that you want to share with the students? And there's one question which came up. How do you handle dejection of your idea from a producer or from whoever you're pitching it to?
You move on. You get a better idea. You think that is, maybe there is a reason where the rejection happens. I'm telling you, I have a script which is like going on for 10 years. Okay. I know it's a fantastic script. Maybe the time is not right. Maybe that actor was not right, and it'll come on later on. So don't lose heart. It will come back to what you believe in, and believe in yourself. Rejection happens, no problem. I have got 30,000 hell of rejections. Okay. But when you make something which stands out from the shelf, think that this is your best so far and better than your before, and this is your best. Next time you do, you better this. But I have a baseline that anything that I touch has to be not a normal thing. It has to stand out. And that's how I've done all my work throughout, be it painting, hosting, acting, art direction, films, you name it. This is my mantra for life.
I know. So there's another thing. Earlier, with the star cast was important. Now it's no longer that important. If I'm
Because
correct.
of OTT, which is coming. Yes. What happens is star cast is not important. An actor is important who can sell the thing. But if you have a costly film, then it falls in a problem. Okay, then you could require an actor to take it forward. Otherwise, the whole thing crumbles. You cannot sell a big film with a new actor, because these are number games. Okay, on paper it will get rejected. So then you'll require a big actor. But if your idea is so solid, right now everything is changed because of digital. Okay, OTT has come in and it's changed everything. So that's the thinking process that was required right now. Everyone is a fantastic thinker. Okay, and everybody's ideas are in the drawer, because nobody's bought it, because it's not sold for a Friday release. And that's where the crazy thing happened. But that is no more right now. Maybe COVID has happened on a different note. People are thinking differently. They'll get opening their drawers and taking out, sir, I have this script, is it nice? Oh yeah, why didn't it work? Because they didn't take it before. Right now it's opened up. So that's why new and young actors are coming forward, and it's no more the big actors. But yes, if it's a big film, you will require a big actor. That is a stupid underlining.
Okay, so now there are many young students in the audience. They would like to know that I have a good script. It's a good idea, but whenever I'm pitching it around, people don't read the script. Actually, a lot of them, they ask you, what director have you got on board? What star are you getting? What actor are you thinking of? Do you have an actor committing to the film? So how does one deal with that?
It's not the new people. I'm also going through the same thing. So it's nothing new. It's a process that everybody has to go through. There are rejections, there are selections. Sab cheez hota hai. Every single day I get so many scripts. Sir, I have a script. Please see, now please read it. It's your type. It's not like my type of a film. I'll do any film that I want. It's not that mere ko sell karna hai isliye. But that is the process that people will ask, because everybody is so busy. They will ask who's the producer. It's not something that it's all called for. Okay, I also get my thing. Okay, bhai, if there is this actor, will I get the money for this film for this actor or not? Then the actor rejects, then the producer not. So it's an ongoing process. I mean, don't lose heart. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Otherwise, throw the idea, think anew. Right now, my other 2 movies are taking time. I'm developing my other 4 films. I'm going on to digital. So there's no time to lose. Think of something new, something else.
Thank you very much. It's 12:21. You have 9 more minutes.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for giving an insight. Looking forward to chat with you very soon. Thanks.
Oh, take care, and everybody all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was quite a session, you both. And I thank you both for this stimulating and informative session. And moving on, now it's time for another interesting video that we have.
Hi, this is Chetan Jadhav again. I'm the Senior Solution Consultant from Adobe. In this particular video, I'm going to show you how to use the color match feature within Premiere Pro. Now, there are many common instances where you are trying to record yourself, but your different recorded clips will have different look and feel. Maybe because you are recording yourself with different camera setups, or maybe you are having the same camera, but at a different day and time. So some of your clips will be warmer, some of your clips will be cooler. For example, this one, here you'll see that this particular clip is very much warm, but if I go further, you'll see that this one is pretty much cooler. I want to make sure that all of my clips is having the same look and feel. So for that, I'm using Premiere Pro Lumetri color panel. So to use the Lumetri color panel, you have to click on the color workspace, and here you'll actually see the Lumetri color panel. This panel actually has a lot of different color correction tools like basic color correction, creatives, and so on. And here you will actually see the color wheel and match, which actually has the color match feature. So just open that, and here you have to click on the comparison view. So click on compare. This will open up the source and your target window. So this is your source where you'll say that, okay, this is the source. I want all the other clips to actually look like my warmer clip. And here I'm actually selecting my target clip. So here I am just, okay. So I'll select this one. This is the cooler looking clip, which I want to make warm based on my source clip, which is warmer. Okay, I'm all set now. So I just have to click on apply match, but I'll make sure that I'll also enable the face detection option. So once I click on apply match, you'll see that Premiere Pro will actually use some of its artificial intelligence technology. This technology is called as Adobe Sensei. And now you'll see that the target clip has also become as warmer as the source clip. Now, this will give you a great start, but maybe if you want to make your own corrections a bit here and there, so you can still come to your midtones, shadows, and highlights, and you can come here and you can still change the look of your particular video. Well, once that is done, you can go to the next clip and repeat the same process. So with the click of a button, even if you're not a color specialist, you don't have to be. With the click of a button, very easily, very simple, Premiere Pro will give you a matching look and feel. So everyone, this was the color match feature with the Lumetric color in Premiere Pro. Thanks for watching.
Well, next up, we have a very engaging discussion on know-how from content producers and career opportunities in content creation. This conversation is between Mr. Sukesh Mutwani, director and co-founder Bodhi Multimedia Limited, in conversation with Mr. Supreet Nagraju, head of education and digital media India and South Asia Adobe. Sukesh is the founder director of Bodhi Tree Multimedia and also functions as its chief creative officer of the company. His experience encompasses the entire gamut of the media business, right from content production to broadcasting over a period of 2 decades. He has worked with leading media brands like Z Television, UTV, and Nimbus. His last held position was head of fiction programming at ZTV. Sukesh has been involved in creation of more than 10,000 plus hours of content across all genres. This includes close to 75 daily soaps in various capacities from ideation, concept development, story and screenplay supervision, creative direction, and commissioning. And Mr. Supreet Nagraju, he is the head of education digital media for Adobe Systems, India, and South Asia. In this role, he is responsible for Adobe's education business operations, growing the sales and marketing functions, driving strategic partnerships and alliances, expanding the channel partner ecosystem, and driving cloud services opportunities with educational institutions, education ministries, and mission mode projects in the region. Supreet brings with him an excellent understanding of educational institutions and their needs in an evolving creation and digital economy in the region. He helps institutions prepare for the 21st century digital transformation and growth of Adobe's recently launched Creative, Document, Marketing Cloud, and e-learning offerings in the region. Under his leadership, the go-to-market teams provide solutions that helps customers transform their digital business in the multi-screen and multi-channel world by enabling them to make, manage, measure, and monetize all their digital assets. Supreet is also an alumnus of Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. He is an advisory member to higher educational institutions, universities, and national projects. We welcome you both, and over to you, Mr. Nagraju.
Thank you, Dinal. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sukesh, warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, am I audible, Sukesh?
Yeah, absolutely. Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah. So what a wonderful, morning and afternoon. It's been a power-packed day, and I'm sure we have some interesting topics to be discussed. So the next few minutes, Sukesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So, folks, one of the things that I was hearing to all the speakers since morning was that it all starts with an idea. Idea has power, and you need to bulletproof it. And creativity is born when you are hell-bent on bringing them to reality, right? And with us is one such professional who's decided to follow his passion. He's gone through various crusts and trusts, as we all know, and he's brought his idea to, reality through various, walks of his life that he's been in, whether it is a creative professional, and he's gone on to create his own, production house. He's a co-founder of Bodhi Tree Multimedia. So let me ask you, and begin this conversation with the fundamental aspect of how do you choose your calling, Sukesh, as a creative professional? Take us through that journey a little bit.
Thank you, Supreet. Really, I mean, it's one of the most fascinating questions and something that you will all your life try to keep answering, because we also evolve as people, and over the years we also transition. So for me, I think I was, of course, a part of like any regular good middle class child. I became an engineer because of my parents' wishes, and I also was doing well academically. So, but along the time that I was in studying engineering, I realized I was more interested in the extracurricular activities, more in and I was also writing a lot at that point in time, creating stories constantly. And I also realized that my own personality had the, a certain flair for drama. And so I think one of the most interesting things that we all need to constantly do is to learn about our own personalities. And that's why the need for older people around you, or wiser people, like, if there's a mentor or an older brother like figure, or a friend that is wiser to you. So I think that in that sense, I was very lucky. I would constantly ask people around, and then I sort of realized that I was very inclined towards the media and towards communicating, towards telling stories, largely in fiction space, and also visual storytelling is the word that I would perhaps use more precisely, because it wasn't about wanting to be a fiction writer or like a novel writer. It was about creating something on the. So at that point in time, a relative of mine was running this production house in Delhi, and I started doing stories for one thriller series. This is in the mid 90s, for a channel called LTV that had just come in at that point in time. So I think the way one, of course, then I had the courage to, after engineering, I took up a job which was in Delhi for marketing software. And from there, I sort of, obviously at one stage, I decided to junk the job. And obviously it needed a lot of convincing conversations with my parents, and, all that had to happen, because, and they supported me eventually. But what was most interesting was my also something that all of us need to realize is that when you're starting to intern anywhere, you do need to decide that, okay, for this window of 1 year or 2 years, I can do without less money. I can do with less money. I can sort of manage to survive with a very less. So that ability, of course, because when you're trying to follow your calling and you're trying to work in an intern in an, um, I was lucky to intern in a smaller company. So a lot of workload came onto me. And then, of course, later I worked for very big corporates as well. So one of the interesting other things that I realized was the difference between the two. But yeah, I would say that two things essentially when you're trying to get your learn about your calling, coming back to the main point. One is, what do you like to watch? If you're a creative individual, what kind of content are you really following? What kind of themes appeal to you? Are you more socially inclined? Are you more inclined towards reality TV, more that kind of populist entertainment? Or is it the soap operas, or is it the cinema language? So you need to obviously first, and there are these two very interesting questions that you need to answer. What is it that I like to watch? And what is it that I can be good at? The second question is far more complex, because in the second question requires probably some years of exploring. In the sense that once you've done a course in media, in a media school, and if you've kind of realized that I like post-production more, or I like writing more, or no, I'm going to actually get into photography or director of, and of course the themes also that appeal to you. So at that point in time, you need to also probably at that time, you need to consider how you're going to intern, which kind of experts, which kind of production house you're going to work in. And then so that you know what you're good at, what can make money for you, because these are two very interesting things and they may not overlap. What is going to be a source of income, and what may be very something that you deeply watch and deeply love watching. And so the overlap between these two things, your own passion and your own strength, is what may eventually result in some kind of success. But these are questions that need to be reflected upon.
Sure. So you told us that you came from an engineering background, particularly electrical engineering. Now, if I may were to ask you, what was that aha moment that actually struck you and said, hey, let me give it a shot? what
In
was
terms
that
of media. Yeah,
in terms of media, and then creative as an area, or was there a bunch of failure moments, then you kind of figured out your calling, but how did it go about? If you
see,
can.
failure, it's very obvious that when I took the engineering job, I was very good at communicating. And that's why, thankfully, I did get a marketing job. But I wasn't honestly understanding uh, the context for me or my strengths within a software world or within an engineering sort of world. And that's where I realized very early on that since I can tell stories, since I have the ability to write, because by then I'd already started writing and I'd sold a few stories of mine to this for this particular television show. So I had that sort of some amount of confidence that I can put a story within 4 pages, understand the beginning, middle, and end, understand and also guide the producer or any a person who's going to do the screenplay or direct the particular story on what the visual quality I'm expecting. And then I was also guided by the right people at that point in time. So of course I failed a lot. I mean, I tried getting into the Jamia Institute. I failed in the last stage of, I passed the written examination, but I failed the interview. Then I tried getting into another institute. So of course a lot of failure was there. But I think one thing that probably I was slightly different from other young kids at that point in time is that they were very eager to make money right away, right then, get a job, get. I was very clear that no, I need to be a little more happier, find my calling. So it's okay if in my younger years I don't go out in restaurants or I don't buy the best clothes or whatever. I mean, so that consumerism tendency, which of course I gave in to much later in my life, I was able to restrain that a bit. Completely, and I was fortunate to get a minor stipend. I did not want to trouble my parents at all. My dad had just retired, so there was a I think the aha moment for me was that when I realized that I need to be happy and I may not be successful. See, there's a very important difference between remembering what gives you happiness and what may bring you conventional success. So a lot of my friends had already gotten jobs in the US and UK at that point in time in the late 90s in the engineering world, and they were doing very well already in the first 2-3 years by the time they were mid 25, like 25 or something. And so for me, that patience paid off, that I am going to do something that may pay me lesser. I'm going to literally start from base zero in a new world, in a media world that doesn't, and that did. And unfortunately, there were, whatever little schools were there were very few seats in Jamia, there were very few seats in Xavier's. And so there were and there were a lot of demand again. So unfortunately, that wasn't possible of studying it formally. I also tried thinking about going abroad and studying at that point in time. But then I realized that my scores were very good, GMAT and all, but the fee was very high. So to be able to plunge into as an intern in a small production house for some 2,000 rupees and give that shot. And of course, my parents believed that if nothing happens in a couple of years, he'll again go back to engineering or whatever. So at least that aha moment was, let me do this. I have nothing to lose. That's it. I mean, let me sort of plunge.
Great. So if you were to look at some of your, key successes in the way in which you've, outgrown every single action that you've created in your career, there has been a tinge of clear viewer analysis, various aspects of analyzing societal behavior, and you brought out various colors of it. Tell us more about, how critical is it for, a prospective professional to build, pointers, and how can they develop these specific skills of, key tenets, things like viewer analytics, because those are finer aspects, I think, that go into choosing what is your calling, what would you like to do, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, see, I think three things are very relevant if you're trying to be a get into the creative profession. One is, of course, the artistic instinct, which either you have it or you don't, and you keep, either you're going to media school, you're testing it, you're creating your own videos, you're studying a little bit, you're reading up on what kind of shows or cinema is being created. Now that is, of course, to do with your own artistic inclinations and your honing. And the other is, of course, the science. the grammar. Like if I'm watching a TV show, I'm looking at the fact that, okay, how does it engage my interest? Where does it begin? I mean, an American TV show is just say 9 or 10 episodes in one season. So why does a thriller appeal to me? How has he created this character? And how much space has he given to this character and other characters? What is the dynamics? And the third thing is that I'm constantly looking for the larger theme, a larger societal theme. If a show has worked or a film has worked, am I really interested in understanding why it may have worked? What has changed in my society? Why is this character appealing to my mindset and many other viewers? Why is this post gone viral on Instagram? Or why is this, or today, even when we look at any politician that's successful or any movie star that's successful, what have they done in creating a story around themselves, right? So everything is story. Every politician, every success is a narrative. So if you understand the concept of a narrative, then you will also understand why at this point in time, or at least try to understand why at this point in time, this narrative is working. Or this character of a bad, like in 1970s, Amitabh Bachchan came in and he was the angry young man. So after such a long span of romantic heroes for 4 decades in Hindi cinema, I'm talking of Hindi cinema specifically, but I'm sure even in the South cinema, you will have many. Why did an angry person represent the repressed rage of society at that point? Like that was dealing with corruption. The corruption had become a new phenomena at that point in time. Class difference had come up. So even in family soaps, or when I'm creating content for television, and especially the female viewer, I'm trying to understand what is it that she's looking out for. And of course, research. Like in broadcasting setups, there are many research inciting setups. So sometimes I would, at a very young age itself, I had some friends in that world. So I would try and understand in a lot of that. Like I remember in the mid-90s, suddenly these love stories came up all of a sudden. Of course, Kayamat Se Kayamat Tak had happened in 1988, but later in Hindi cinema, I saw from mid-90s, all these family dramas also were coming back after early 80s, and the South dramas of family. Now, why was urban culture again being nostalgic about family content? That's also a social thing, right? For us to gauge. Why did Raja ka beta Raja banta hoga, lekin humko abhi, now that's the theme for the last 4-5 years, that meritocracy is in. Now, a lot of these societal changes also need to be mapped in your entertainment. That is what one of the things so as I said, science, art, and societal insight. How do you combine these three values to tell if you're in the communication medium or if you're in the storytelling medium?
Yep.
That's what.
Yep.
And
so that brings me to the next topic. Largely it all centers around how powerful is your content that you're creating and how much you can hold them. And content, today is we keep hearing this term called content is king. Content creation is the center stage for the industry, revolutionizing across on different platforms across. So can you take us through few of those finer aspects of what are the latest trends that are emerging in the communications, media, and entertainment industry across, and then the associated opportunities that are there for prospective students, career opportunities, and so on and so forth.
See, again, for younger people, they need to know whether they are interested in the short format content, because there are so many, it's very interesting. The whole digital spectrum today ranges from, it started with YouTube videos, it started with Instagram reels and Facebook reels, and then of course that's the short format, and then of course digital today is hosting almost cinema today. I mean, apart from of course great big budget web shows which are streaming all over the world in local languages, in Hindi, and of course internationally it's been there for much longer. So we're trying to adapt as a behavior that, okay, now we can watch content, binge on episodes. So while we're trying to understand this evolution in the short and long, both on digital, there is also the television medium, which may appear stagnant, but it still holds a lot of value for the family viewer or the female viewer, because we have these two sections in our society, which is very interesting, slightly unlike the West, that we have this individualistic viewing, private viewing, which is to do with whatever I wish to watch. It could be voyeuristic, bold. It could be more, morally ambiguous content. When I say morally ambiguous, I mean very interesting moral ambiguities can be explored with characters on web. Characters can be gray. If I look at Breaking Bad, one of the finest shows ever made in America, it was about a professor who was dying and was actually going to make meth, going to sell. He was a drug dealer eventually. So the point, because he needed to survive or whatever. So now the point is that moral ambiguity cinema used to carry in men, but in terms of when a man, but of course he would always be virtuous and right from. So I think what's interesting and important is to know that you have the digital medium is exploding in a very big way. Students need to understand whether the inclination is towards more realistic, like, I mean, there is the whole section of docu, non-fiction, reality TV is also available for us to engage in. And so suddenly content is exploded through every medium. I mean, your telephones are, so now what is also interesting is content can be, in fact, it's very fascinating that in this COVID era, of course, content, 80% or 90% of the content is going to be made in sets with protection and everything. But some content is also being made at home today. Creators are also, like we made a show last year called Gone Game, which was entirely, the instructions were given to actors in their own homes via Zoom. And we shot and then we edited and we made it appear so seamless that as if all these people are communicating with each other, but it wasn't looking as if it's a show which was, everybody's chatting on Zoom only from, no, it didn't look like that. It looked like a story being told about different characters caught in different places during the lockdown, and it still looked very seamless as a narrative. So what I mean is that the more challenges society is going to come up with, whether the pandemic is a challenge today or tomorrow, if say I want to shoot something with only 2 actors, but give a mega scale to it, and use VFX and use technology so that there's a sense that, oh, they are in a city, there are many other actors behind it, but I'm only shooting a play-like format with 2 actors and trying. So even in terms of budgets, or not budgets, in resources, in terms of resources, maybe with the use of technology and with the use of more inventive way of looking at how cinema or how web stories can be told, a lot of things will change. Even the grammar of how to tell stories is going to change. But yeah, I just want to say, from news content to documentary content to travel and social related content to entertainment, there is enough for everybody now. The challenge is to know which area you wish to go into and explore that, as I said, with the help of better teachers or counselors or wiser people in your life, and also making mistakes. Please jump into it, plunge into it, make a few mistakes, because you might discover your calling or your strength maybe by 28 or 29. There is no end to that process, because everything that you do, every wrong organization that you join, every wrong boss that you get, or every thing that you learn and it doesn't turn out to be your strength, like if you learn editing and then you realize, no, I like writing more, it'll still help you. You don't know how will it help you. You might be like, for me as a producer, a lot of these strengths, I need to know a lot of these things finally before deciding. I was good at creative directing, I was good at writing, I was not very good at directing in the beginning. I realized that I'm not such a people's person if I go on the set and I start communicating. So you need to constantly plunge, make mistakes, then realize, oh, this is my strength, I can do better here. So that ability, and that's what made me an entrepreneur eventually, because then I realized that, and of course I had to collaborate with the right people and find the right business partner so that we can complement. We can't be having the same strengths. So those were anything else, Supreet, I'm missing out? And I do want you to speak a little bit on technology.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So one point before we jump into technology is, one key thing that I keep hearing from many people in the media and communication professionals like you, leaders like you, is there is abundance of opportunities, and there is a supply constraint as well, coming in because of explosion of mediums. Mobile access, has actually proliferated. The content consumption in different ways. Do you see any pointers that you would like to share with education administrators, for creating platforms and mediums for students to become more proficient and skilled on some of these key tenets that you had? Did you see that scope, or do you see that we have sufficient schools and universities to kind of
see? I mean, right now, I do believe that the curriculum needs to be adjusted. I mean, but that's a statement that I'm making for overall education system. That it needs to that as an institution, education maybe is, of course, online. These a lot of these online schools have happened for regular academic processes or whatever, or online learning or blah blah blah, or But I do feel that there needs to be more practical. And I mean, educational institutes need to tie up with big production houses, and definitely find more what I would say, more practical experience driven, because a lot of the schools that I speak to, Symbiosis or good schools, I do realize that what they finally do at the practical level or the is still far away from what we are doing on ground. And when interns come and work with us, they sort of realize the difference between if they're working on a daily soap on a shoot, or the kind of madness that factory element has, or if they're working on a web, the kind of detailing that's in the good web shows our directors do in terms of storyboarding, like Omang was speaking, and our directors in web today also storyboard literally those 8 hours, of a look, reference, the look and design, production design, costumes. There are so many areas. So I'm not sure whether all those areas are covering a good amount of what I would say,
experiential learning?
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, experiential learning, because I almost feel like doctors go and intern at a medical school. I mean, they have to intern at a hospital, right? While working. Why can't media professionals be interning for 1 year, and then production houses will be more than happy to have slightly cheaper resource, but also train younger people, because they will be hoping that if they groom some of these younger people, they can hire them after the first year, and give them better position, better pay package, so there should be that level of belief.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, let's talk about technology. There are anything specifics that I could
I wanted to just ask you about this only, that are there any tools that right now, if technology can help, or especially Adobe products could help, moving from a studio environment to providing similar level of quality for creators which are operating at homes? I mean, like if these younger people want to create their own things, what kind of tools that you guys have that can help people in a limited setup to create a certain?
Yep, absolutely. So Adobe always has been in the forefront of innovation and creating things which make users and access, agnostic of devices, anywhere, any place, as a model. And thanks to our scientific community who's been building some of these cutting edge technology platforms. It starts with the intelligence platform, the artificial intelligence platform, which is the Sensei, and I'm sure my colleague was sharing some of them through the video snippets, some time back as well. So under the current pandemic situation, I think it's just accelerated some of these tools and techniques that were already available. So just let me take a couple of pointers in these. This is called team projects. I'm sure in the process of pre and production process, I think video creators, when they work from home or wherever they are, they need to collaborate on project works, and they need to look at workflows, approvals, and kind of share their ideas. Yes, you can do that on real time from wherever you are, whether it's a mobile device or it could be iPads or any other device for that matter. And needless to say, today, video content is exploding on multiple platforms, right? Social media, OTT platforms. And we've always, looked at upping the benchmark, or what we call as upping the bar, and deliver faster. So the cloud collaboration features in Premiere Pro today, Premiere Rush, which is another mobile and desktop app for new age video creators, has actually pushed the envelope a little more higher. You can capture, edit, publish video stories to social media platforms. Optionally, Rush projects can also be opened in Premiere Pro. And then you could look at using AR, VR, facilities on Premiere Pro platforms as well. And
Okay.
Needless to say, we have about 400 partners, who've developed workflows and integrated them with video solutions. And there are tons of, such options available even in After Effects for special effects and, VFX, stuff, things like Roto Brush that will extract subjects, from the backgrounds, and content aware fill, which will allow you to remove select subjects, from the entire video. And these features are like really amazing, mind blowing,
So a lot of social media kids, or I mean, any of these people who are trying to get to create their own content to get, traction on any of their own personal individual YouTube channels or anything like that, they can also use some of these.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we've gone miles ahead in this journey of, delivering what we just discussed a few minutes back on delivering experiential learning for educational institutions as well. So what's available to the, corporate world, we have now made it available to every student through our student licensing programs, to educational institutions at subsidized models, so that, they get what is actually, that it takes the Ferrari, the actual Ferrari, what they would actually drive on the, pre and post production, shop floors, or even at their homes. Just to give you an example, a performance based, character animation, or any other specialized real-time performance that you need to do using character animation as a feature, or even for that matter from sound standpoint, we have a product called Audio Audition, to edit, mix, record, and restore audio on the fly at home. And there are umpteen number of tools and features that I can go on and on to make their editing.
And they can obviously play with all these tools to exactly fine tune and create their own. I mean, this is complete explosion of their creativity. If they know exactly what advantages they can, how they can. I mean, the whole idea of
an example, I was recently going through one of the videos on YouTube, or maybe on even Red Bull TV. If you guys are familiar with, some of the amazing adventure videos that are shot on Red Bull TV, they're all, shot using, the motion cameras, which are actually fixed on the skaters and so on and so forth. So those are all.
And it's got a 360-degree thing as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're able to give you the whole, anyway.
Panoramic views and various edits that they
because while they are traveling with the camera attached to the phone. Yeah.
So there's a lot of new features that have come in terms of making the experience even AR friendly, content friendly, irrespective of devices and platforms. In fact, Premiere Pro is now available for editing even on the mobile platforms as well. Premiere Rush is there as a new features, and you can send it for, if you're part of the production house and you would like to, approve it from wherever you are, you could do that on your mobile phone as well, and it's that user friendly.
Fabulous. That's a very, because all our production houses right now are also specifically trying to make sure that, we have very senior people trained in technology changes, because a lot of, sometimes we may take the guidance of a post-production studio or our post-production heads, which are normally extremely, they would know what's sort of changing and how it can help our content. But that transition is also happening there. I think a lot of small companies are also going to have their own technology divisions to understand how, or executives who, so that they're broadly, rather than it's not just no longer about telling a long format story, but also understanding if I'm trying to tell a superhero story tomorrow, or a slightly more complex story which needs more, with any kind of historical as well, or a period drama as well, which needs a certain canvas or a certain look and feel and a certain standard, then I would,
Yeah, in fact, we've been supporting a lot of institutions, not just from the media space on the digital storytelling platform. Now we have a lot of engineering and technology institutions who've been coming forward and saying that, and hey, our students are supporting a lot of hospitality industry in terms of digital storytelling, or it could be someone from a governance background, talking about, various e-governance, initiatives that are being rolled out, or even for that matter, multilingual experiences. For example, a Malayalam Manorama, or it could be someone from Inadu television.
You don't need to only look at production houses. You mean across the board, everybody would love to create their own portals or using your, or whatever theme It may be e-governance or it may be
tourism. Our own, Atithi Devo Bhava entire platform, is more or less done on our platforms, and
okay.
these are done by students, and interns across the board.
Absolutely. It's fabulous, Supreet. I mean, is
Yeah.
there?
So there are multi-myriad opportunities that are available, and I think we have whole host of things that we can work jointly with institutions. I think industry is open. I'm sure leaders like you are open to guide various institutions in setting up think tanks, and thought leaderships across. Organizations like us are willing to help institutions adopt some of these technologies from a center of excellence standpoint. You can adopt some of these technologies and also create very clear-cut learning paths that are in line with the industry trends. And those are a few things that I think are relevant in the current scheme of things to build quality, scale, also expose students to opportunities that are available in the overall landscape. So that's
Absolutely.
pretty much about it from my end, Sukesh, on what technology, impact, and then the roadmap.
Creativity. I mean, what I would say, the marriage of creativity and technology. Actually, that's a whole session in itself. I someday believe that you guys should do, because that would completely.
Yeah.
And as far as secrets of content creation that we had set out from my end, also, I just want to say one thing, that please be persistent to all young people. Please be absolutely disciplined, because one of the things is that there are going to be many phases where you feel your creativity may ebb and flow, and it may not be in sync with, it may not be exactly at a high, but report to your job every day, go to your shop every day, show up, because that's the only way. And that's true for every profession, but definitely true for our profession, where we go through a lot of turbulence in terms of, and also the work hours are crazy but yeah, I mean, that's a part of every hard. So that's where I would love to just sort of say that please stay
Thank you so
disciplined.
much, Sukesh. It's been an absolute pleasure. Viewers, remember, we are in digital first era. It's no longer an anticipation. We are already in the middle of it. Gear up. We are here to create a amazing journey. We all can create an amazing experience. Wishing you all the best in your endeavors. Thank you so much.
Wishing you really all.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great session, and I'm sure our young audience has found some really interesting inputs and takeaways. And I would like to thank you, Mr. Mutwani and Mr. Nagraju, for that delightful exchange that we've got. Next up, we have our final presentation for the day, a sneak preview on Adobe's professional video editing tools by Adobe specialist, Mr. Chetan Jadhav, who is the Senior Solutions Consultant in Digital Media. We welcome and over to you, Mr. Jadhav.
Hi, thanks, Deenal, for the introduction. I hope I'm audible, and I welcome you all for the last bit of this particular session. We have a very jam-packed, amazing discussion between our panelists, and just to give it a good flavor to end the session, I'll actually give you a preview, sneak peek about what is Premiere Pro and how that can really help the new age of video creators. So I am Chetan Jadhav. I'm the Senior Solution Consultant and Creative Evangelist at Adobe. And one of my key roles is actually to show the world how Adobe can really help to deliver their stories to the real world, in terms of, it could be an image, it could be a website or a prototype, or also in form of a video or a 3D or an AR VR. So I have, so what I know by today's participants is that we have got some amazing people who have worked on fashion, architecture, engineering, science, technologies, and some of the interior design. So I have planned this particular session to show how Premiere Pro on a wider range of audience can really help them and really understand how Premiere Pro is very, very simple and effective, so that students can deliver their video story to the real world, especially in today's scenario where the video content is really exploding onto multiple devices, cross-platform, and all of that. Well, that's too much of talking. Now, let me quickly share my screen and I'll get started with Premiere Pro. So I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, I believe my screen is visible. Okay, so this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Premiere Pro. And what I've done is that I'll first show you the final video which I've created, which shows a combination of how design students, architectures, and interior people, fashion can actually use it. Let's see this video, and then we'll try to recreate this video in the next 15 minutes. So I will play it now. Well, this is actually a sneak of how Premiere Pro actually can be used. The video is actually not my video. These are actually taken from Adobe stock, which is a way where you can actually search, download and license and use the right asset in your project. Now, I hope my video and audio was very much audible to everyone. Just a quick like in the chat. Just want to make sure that you people were able to hear that. Anyways, let's get started with this particular session to show how Premiere is very easy, effective, how you can get video into your timeline, how you can make quick edits and make your video very much appealing and final, export it and show to the real world. Okay, so this was a project, but let me now start from the scratch. So I've got Premiere Pro open, and these videos which I have already pre-shot, let me show you how it can actually be bought within Premiere Pro. So I do have this media browser, which I can use actually to get all of my clips inside. So these are the clips which I was able to put it onto my computer, and I can just come here and select these clips as per my requirements. So maybe this is clip number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also I can select the video and the audio which I want to use. So this is the WAV file which I actually use for the background music. So simply right click and import it, and it's there onto your project. Okay, it's there in the project, but it is still not there on the timeline. So what I can do is I can actually select these clips in a sequence, and I can put that on the timeline. So let's say this is the first clip, this one first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And I want to create a sequence based on the sequence which I've selected right now. So simply right click, and I would say new sequence from the clip. So now a new sequence is created, and you will now see that I've got all of these different clips in an order, the sequence in which I've selected. Okay, so I've got the clips onto my timeline, and now what I want to do is I want to rearrange the clips, or maybe I will remove the unwanted portions of that clip. So right now you see the clip number 3 is pretty much longer than what I expected. So I might want to trim it, right? So I've got a lot of tools here for editing. So I'll just use my selection tool, and I can come, and if I come to the end of my clip, I can actually trim it inside so that I actually hide the unwanted portions of the clips. It doesn't mean I've deleted. I can still come and I can extend it if required, but I'll just trim it right now. And okay, let me also quickly do some trimming. And this is the actual video editing that people say. This is the real video editing, where you only show the content which you want to be visible onto your screen. Okay, with all of that, let's say I want this to come a little bit forward. I want to swap it with my previous. I can do that. So now architecture is there. It has swapped with the creative design. So let me put it back where it was, and let's start with the next steps. So I can, once I finish my trimming, what I want is I might want certain transitions to happen on my clip. So right now I've got clip number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe the 5th one I can trim it a bit. Okay. So for transitions, I can simply come to my effects panel here. So this is my effects workspace, and here I can actually see all of my video transitions which are available. So some of the very common are the dissolving, dip to black, dip to white. So I can use this cross dissolve, and if I put it onto the between my clips, so let me just, okay. So I can do that, and you'll see that now there will be a subtle dissolving before it goes to the next clip. But let me be more creative here. to have certain more creativity into my video, I would really need some amazing transitions and titles. And in my video, you saw that there was some amazing motion graphics happening. All of that is possible with motion graphic templates. This is called as MOGAT. If you saw my first sneak peek clip of 3 minutes, I was actually using these motion graphic templates. So where do you find these? Just in case if you missed that, the motion graphic templates are available into the graphics. So motion graphic templates, you can have motion graphics, animation of the text, you can have transitions and all of that. Okay, so let's say I want a motion graphic onto my first particular text here. Well, the first problem I see is that I want to put my motion graphic here. So I'll come to my essential graphics panel where I'll actually see the ready to use motion graphic in Premiere Pro. So I'll come to the browse tab and here you'll see all the motion graphic which are available. Okay, I want to start up with one of the motion graphics. I've actually saved some of the motion graphics just for the sake of demo. And here you'll see these are a list of my favorite templates. So maybe I want the first one here and I'll just drag this template and I'll put it here onto the another video layer. So here you'll see that I got a layers of video and below I have the layers of audio. Similarly, if I just zoom in, you'll see that even the templates I'm able to trim it inside. Okay, let's see our first template. Let me go back and play this part. Okay, so you'll see the text animation is there, but I can also customize this as per my requirement. But I also see a problem with my video. I actually want to flip it so that I can actually see the title onto the left side. Okay, how do I flip my video? So again, onto the effects panel, before I use my Mogat, I'll actually use flip there. So I've got horizontal flip, which I can simply drag it and put it onto my video. And now you'll see that, yeah, my video has now been flipped and now my titles are better visible. Okay, how do I customize my title? So just double click and here you can just say, video reel Chetan J. Okay, the next is I'll just come down and just put some more details. So the motion graphic templates, it's a predefined template and I can customize it as per my requirement. So maybe I want creative design. One could be architecture. One could be interior design. And maybe the last one is fashion design. Okay. But the challenge is that I'm not able to really pop it out from my background. So I can just come here and I can edit my motion graphic template. So I can come back to my graphics panel and here I do have the edit option based on my motion graphic template. I can select the individual pieces and edit that one. Okay, so this part is white color is really not coming up well. So I'll just come here and change it to black. And to make it more pop out, I can give it some more shadows and I can give white color shadows. Wow, white color shadows. But now you see that my text is really popping out really well. Similarly, I can select this part and I can also give some black color shadows there. And I can also come here and select some of my white color bars and try to change that color. So I can use my color picker and I can just select that particular color from there. So right now it's white. I'll use my color picker and maybe I want to make it orange. So I was able to edit my first motion graphic template. Maybe I want to make it smaller. So I'll just select my template and here I've got all of these transformation tools. So I'll just, maybe I'll just see ahead and try to scale it down. Okay, maybe I'll just put it somewhere on the right side and onto the bottom. Okay, so this motion graphic template was very simple and this was ready to use. And within minutes, I was able to create an appealing text animation. Okay, also on to the other videos, I want to use some other motion graphic templates, which you saw on the video, the interior design animation coming out for the text, similarly for the others. So I can simply come here to browse. I can browse some of my titles from here. But I have already saved certain titles here and I do have something called as side dashes. So this motion graphic template, see, I don't have time, right? I might have to use some of these very, very quickly into my projects. So I like this particular title. I'll drag and drop it onto my clip. The motion template is there. I'll double click and I'll say that creative design. That's it. I can still come here and make the changes, but just for the sake of time, let me just come to the creative design and give it some background there to pop it out more. And simply I'll come here and place it somewhere on to the top. Okay, so this was the second motion graphic template which I use. So templates make your life very, very simple. But the beauty about the template is that these templates are reusable. So what I can simply do is, for the other portion of my clips, for the other videos, I'll simply make a copy of these. And if I just keep it here, let me make a quick copy of the same template. And I can also come here in that particular template and change it from creative design into maybe architecture. So I'll just come here, change it to architecture. So let me be quick with that one. Architecture. I can do all the other sorts of edits there, but I think I'm happy with what I have right now. So you'll see the same template is there, but reusable at different instances. Similarly, I can come to interior design and fashion and so on. Okay, so this was motion graphic template. I can also use transitions in terms of motion graphic template. So here right now you see that this video clip number 1 is ending and it is clearly jumping onto video number 2 abruptly. Maybe I want certain creative transition happening. So also motion graphic templates has those transitions. So if I come to my template, here you'll see that I'll come to, and I'll just type some of my transitions here. Transition, yeah, these are all the transitions available. So maybe I want this particular one. I'll again drag and drop it onto some other video layer. So let me zoom in and show you how I can also control this part. So if I put it here, I can also trim it out and in. And now if I use, this will look amazingly well. Let me just increase some of my video size. Now if I play this, you actually see the motion graphic animation title there. The title will go off and you'll then see the transition coming up. Wow, this was really, really cool, right? Okay, so similarly, I can go and put multiple transitions there. Okay, I also have certain other motion graphics animation. So let's say I want to put this on social media and I want to say leave a like or subscribe, or I want to say thanks for watching, something like that. So also I go to the browse and I have some of my predefined templates. I do have this transition with the title. So this I will drag and drop it and put it in the end where I want to customize it saying thanks for watching. So maybe I'll double click and just write thanks for watching. Okay, right now the colors are not as per what I want. So simply I'll come here and I can change the color. So the outer circle is red. I can make it to baby green. The inner circle is red. I can make it to baby blue. That's it. So quick, so easy, highly customizable. So if I play this motion graphic template, yeah, this is what I have right now. Okay, I also want subscribe and all of that. So yeah, I do have a subscribe there. So I'll just drag and drop this on top of my existing thanks for watching. So if I zoom in, yeah, so I can also come here and I can trim. This is the subscribe clip which I have. It is sitting right there in the center, but I don't want it in the center. I want to scale it down and maybe keep it somewhere in the bottom. Yeah, so now if I just go back and play, so I think you have a very good idea about what a motion graphic template is, right? So you see the subscribe animation is there and it will then go out. Okay, in the end, I want to hit a like button after they watch my particular video. So I'll come to browse again and I have a leave a like there. So I'll drag and drop it in the end. And I can also trim that inside. So I have got the main structure of my video. So if I go back and play now, wow, there's a leave a like in the end. I can also come here and change the text, also change the color of whatever my graphics is. So this is what is motion graphic template. It's highly recommend to use this particular feature. The other things I want to talk about here is, yeah. So this particular clips, if you see that these are actually slow motion clips, right? This is a slow motion clip. You see the interior design. This is also a slow motion clip. But the clip number 2, which I have, the artist who's actually creating the creative, this is not a slow motion. This is actually a normal motion. So I want to make this very slow motion so that it fits with the rest of the clip. So I want to do that. So I'll simply right click and I have this option of speed and duration. So for the speed, it's 100%, which is the normal motion, but I want to make it slow. So if I make it 50%, it is double slow. So I just click on OK. And now you see that I can also, so this particular clip has now extended. And now if you see, this particular clip also has a very slow motion. So slow motion is a very good way to put importance to a piece of video, right? This really emphasizes what you want to, what audience likes to see. This is a very good tool for storytelling. Other than this, the last piece which I want to show you is that, okay, a video is not completed without audio, right? So how do I get certain audio parts which I want? So to get audio, I'll come to the audio workspace, and here I can actually search audio clips, and I can license it and I can use it within Premiere Pro. So if I come to the essential sound panel, you'll actually see that we've got, so I want to search a background video which is very much inspirational or a dreamy. So I have this filters available. So let's say I want to search something which is atmospheric, dramatic, and dreamy. So I've got the mood option there. I've got the genre option where I've selected, I want a background music, right? And some other filters available based on the tempo and the duration of the clips. So this is what the search result I got. So maybe I want to go with something that is light burst. So I'll just come to start of the track and I'll just click on light burst. I hope you people are able to hear the audio. But if you're not able to hear it, what's happening here is that you'll actually see a flavor of the audio along with the video in front, so that you can actually see how the video is gelling with the selected audio. I think I'm happy with this particular audio. What is simple, what I can just do is that I'll just come here and I'll say add to the project. So it is a part of my project bin. And if I come to my edit workspace, yeah, if I come to editing and if I extend this out, you'll actually see a folder will be created and my sound, the audio is sitting right there. So what I'll do is I just have to drag this into my timeline, and now you'll be able to hear that audio there. Okay, so this is really coming out well, and it really, the sound actually, the music actually gives a great flavor to my video reel. Okay, now this particular, so the last bit, again, I do have time to cover another feature which is very, very important. Is we've got this feature called as auto reframe. Now, first I'll tell you what the challenge is. Now, right now, this particular video reel is into a rectangle layout, and this is great when it comes to film or a television or maybe a mobile on landscape, right? But if I want to put it on a social media which is having a different layout, maybe it is having a square layout 1:1, the challenge is that not all the details will come out very well as what it used to come in a rectangle layout. If you simply make it square, a lot of detail will be chopped off. So for example, let's say the same video, I want to make it square. So if I make it, so there's one option where you can just go there into sequence settings and you want to make it 1:1. So let me make it 1080 by 1080, which is nothing but a square 1:1. The problem here is that this clip is good. Yeah, you see this particular clip, the artist got chopped off, the creative has got chopped off, and the same video which was very good in rectangle is not very well told in a square composition. Similarly, for the fashion model, if you just go there, it is very much onto the left. So what I have to do is I actually have to manually come here and I have to place it into the center. And imagine if you have multiple clips, it will be very, very difficult and time consuming for you to do this every time. But you are using Premiere Pro, you don't have to worry about that, because Adobe products has got this artificial intelligence technology that will do your work faster and better. One of the features that uses this technology called a Sensei is the auto reframe feature. So now I will do the same thing, but using auto reframe. So let me undo and I'll come back to my previous rectangle. So now if I want to make it square and automatically adjust the frames within my layout, I simply come to my sequence and I'll just click on auto reframe sequence. Now this will take some time, it will analyze your clips, but just for the sake of time, I have already done that in advance so that I can show you the final clip. So this is the final 1:1 with auto reframe. And now if I come back to my clip number 2, you actually don't see the half artist and half creative. You actually see the creative there, because the software analyzed that, Premiere analyzed that, okay, the creative is important in this particular frame. If I go to the last particular clip where I have the fashion, you see the fashion model is actually centered. I don't have to move it manually. So reframe actually understands the video, identifies the key subject, and it will then adjust that within the selected frame. So this is an immensely time-saving feature. Once you're done reframing, or maybe once you're done with your sequence, you just have to finally export your clip. So to export this clip, you just have to go to File, Export, and you can use the media encoder. And with media encoder, you can actually select what format you want to export, and you can have an MP4 or you can have a MOV. That's it. So Premiere Pro is there. You get your clips, import it into your project, make a sequence, align it, use motion graphic templates, fancy transitions, subtitles, or maybe title animation, motion graphic animation, and then you can go back to individual clips and you can work on some of the color corrections. And then you can just use some of the unique features that we have. Another feature which I specifically want to show is how do you work on. So I was talking about you can go to a specific clip and make certain edits. Let's say for this particular fashion video, this is the red color dress, right? I want to make it a different color. So maybe I want to make it blue or a green. So I do have some effects available. One of that effect is called as change to color. So if I just come here and change to color, so this particular, I will drag and drop it onto my fashion clip. And here you will see that it will ask me, okay, which color you want to change to what. So here I'll use a color picker and I'll click on this red color dress. So from red color, I actually want to change it. I'll select blue and bang on, the dress is now blue. So not only for fashion, it could, so you can use this feature based on your any use case, right? Okay, so this is what I have the final video. So this is what we were able to do in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen. I hope my screen was, so this is a video demo. I hope my video sharing, my audio, my camera, everything was fine. If you have any questions, do let me know. I will try to stop share my screen and I'll hand it over back to you. Thank you so much. I hope this is helpful.
Hi, Chetan. Actually, there is one question from the audience that is saying, can you show a little bit of color grading in the video?
Perfect. Color grading. So maybe this is the clip which I want to do some color grading. Well, this is not, well, this is already graded. So I'll try to show you how color grading would work here. So Lumetri color panel is one of our features for color grading. So let's say this is the clip which I want to color grade. To color grade in Premiere Pro, you have to click on the color workspace. So if I click on color workspace, you see that the Lumetri color workspace, the Lumetri color panel will open up, and here you have all the features for color correction. So from basic correction, you can actually select your LUTs which you might have stored in your computer, or you can use some existing LUTs that you have. So you might click on Alexa and you see that that particular look would change. You also have white balance selector, you have color temperature options, you've got tint options, you've got exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows, and so on. After that, we have got creative. So I do have this window in which I can go back each and every places and see how a particular creative would look. So maybe I want to make it this way. I can just click and you see, oh, okay, not this one, maybe this one. I can also intensify. So I've got this creatives, curves. I can come to my RGB curves. Maybe I want to change all of my reds into some others. I can also do that. So, so basically the Lumetri color feature is there and you can work on, so these are some of the new tools we have where you can select a color and you can change that particular color also. So maybe in this particular clip, I want to select, I'll use my eyedropper. Maybe I'll select this one. And I want to change the saturation of this particular selected color. So now you see that if I make it down, that particular selected color becomes actually grayed out. If I make it up, it will be more saturated. So I can have selective color corrections within Lumetri panel. One of the best things I want to show you is that, okay, the last part which I want, the unique feature within Lumetri color panel is you can auto match the colors of the different shots. So for example, if I just come back to the original shot, if you see this particular interior shot, which is there, this is more white and the first shot is very much saturated and they are really not matching. So you might also shoot your own videos for your video storytelling, and it might be a different day and time, and all of your video shots are having different looks. So with the color match feature, your looks are automatically matched up. So let's say I want to match the look of this interior with this particular clip. Let's see how I can do that very, very quickly. So just one last feature before I take any other questions. So I'll come to my color wheels and match, and I click on comparison view. So in comparison view, I actually have to select the source clip. So maybe this is my source clip and this is my target clip. That's it. I just click on apply match. And now you see that now this target clip also got that blue tint from the source. So this way also you can actually use a very great, you can get a great start for color grading. If you still want to change it, you can still come here and you can make those manual adjustments. But again, Adobe Sensei technology, the AI technology made your color grading also very, very simple. I hope this was useful. Let me know if there's any other questions.
No, I think I can see just that one question.
Okay.
All right. That was actually quite an informational presentation, Mr. Jadhav. And that brings us to the end of the Adobe virtual workshop. And I would like to thank our presenting partner, Adobe, for their immense support. And on behalf of IndianTelevision.com Group and Adobe, we would like to thank all the speakers and viewers for taking out your time to join us today. And we hope you had a very fruitful and informational time. And have a nice afternoon, everyone. Thank you.